Actually. Alrighty, guys. Well, with that said, let's get back into it. I'm not sure where it's saved. I'm curious where it left us off. There's no option to like save in the game. It just kind of happens. So we'll see where the last checkpoint was. I did watch a little bit of the last stream before we started just to see where we left off. Oh, okay, we're about to get attacked by that monster, I think. If I remember this right. That or he might have just gone past us. I'm not sure. Oh, thank you, Boss Secreto. Yeah, it's... You know, it's so funny because I used to, back in high school and stuff, I hated speaking in front of class. I always dreaded any time I had to do public speaking, which seems really weird to do this now. But at some point in college, I just kind of got over it. And then I was really cool doing presentations and things like that. I'm never going to get away from that CIA stigma. I love it.
There's those bolt cutters again. Gotta be a way to reach them.
Okay, so this is what we're really trying to get to right now, is these bolt cutters, because we found a couple doors that are locked behind chains, but we can't quite get there. Oh, that sucks though, Aether. I never really thought of a case like that. Yeah, what if things don't really get promoted the same way because Disney owns them now? Wink. Okay, so I can't actively just turn into the spirit world and go in there. I think we have to use the mirrors now. Why am I still sneaking? I think the monster went away.
Great.
I think.
Another mirror.
Oh, sweet. Okay, so these are the mirrors I was talking about. So when we interact with these, we're in the spirit world and we see different objects. We can pass through different doors, stuff like that. What's with this phone? Did you guys ever use one of these rotary phones? My parents used to have one. Christian, what is up, Christian? How you doing? Oh, well, so that's not gonna work. For all you kids out there, back in my day, the phones needed a connection with a wire to the wall. That one's not gonna work. It's not like this. It's not wireless. But we have this ability to kind of like focus on an item, and if we see something... Oh, right there. There we go.
New details have emerged. The situation may be more complicated than we expected. No time to explain. You'll get the full report once I get back. Just leave it to me, comrade.
Yeah.
Very meticulous of you, comrade.
So as far as age-wise, I'm technically a millennial, but I'm like a super ancient elder millennial. So I'm in a weird group where I grew up without technology being there when I was really young. You know, nobody was giving me a phone to play with when I was like 6 years old. Cell phones didn't really become a thing for me until like high school, early college. But I was young enough when it all came out that I pick up everything very easily. You know, you got like people like that are boomers and stuff. You show them some new piece of technology, they just kind of gloss over. They don't understand any of it. I understand everything, but I can also remember a time when it just didn't exist, which is kind of weird. Yeah, so anytime we find an object like that, we get a little bit of backstory as to what was going on here. A top-end millennial, I like that. The graphics in this game are fantastic. Okay, before we go through the mirror...
Locked.
All right, thought I would check out the door. We don't have any keys or anything. I never used one of those kind of big cordless phones. They did have cell phones back in the day. They were like satellite phones, I think, but they were massive. They were like, I'm trying to think of what it would be like. It'd be bigger than like holding like a switch with the controllers to your head. They were ridiculous. How you doing, Artho? Good to see you, dude.
Oh God.
Oh no. Got things here waiting for me. Before, that creature could only find us in this realm, but he can pass over to the real world now, I think.
Oh no, there's more of them.
Crap. You know, somebody made a comment in the last stream. These characters with their mouths all wide open, it's the original Poggers.
What has it done to you?
This guy right here. I can see why, Phantasma. It gets pretty dang creepy.
No names, no faces, no way to help them.
Can I use my razor blade? No. Okay, we need to find something to use with this creature. I don't know what. I thought maybe we have to cut those wires or something, but I don't think so. You can actually get like a I don't know if it's wireless, but you can get like attachments for your cell phone that look like old school phones, which is kind of fun.
Just like Bernard.
Okay, we can't open this one either. Those Nokia phones were invincible, Aether. It was ridiculous. He's definitely seen better days. Oh wait, what is this?
Just a bit longer.
There's a whole bunch of butterflies that just flew away. Are they trying to tell me to go this way? Did your dad have one of those first ones? They were massive. My parents never had one, but I would see them on like TV shows and movies. Not sure if I need to sneak. I heard that creature. Okay, we can climb up there. But before we do that, I kind of want to check out what's over here. Oh! See, if I hold that bumper button, it shows me I need to go up there. Okay. We'll do that in a second. I want to check out what's over here first, though. Aha! Like a creepy drawing. This one's just titled Dark. Don't know what that is. It looks like somebody's just coming through a doorway and there's like some darkness attacking them. I'm not sure. Artistic Otaku, how are you doing, dude? Thank you so much for the follow. And you can also see our character on her left arm jacket. There's like these white, almost look like spikes or something. It's hard to describe. If it's white, that means we have it fully charged. We have some powers with this character. As we use it, it kind of goes gray and it's not lit up anymore. So we want to keep that as high-powered as we can. When in high school, one of your classmates got in trouble for losing her phone again, and her dad said if she wanted a new one, she would have to prove she can take care of it by carrying another one of those huge... That's funny. It reminds me of, you know, when you go to the gas station, and they have, you know, like the key they give you to use the restroom, but it's huge. Not the key is huge, but it has like a huge attachment to make you not want to steal it or make it harder to sneak out kind of thing. Oh, this is not a webcam. This is it's a mirrorless Sony A6000 DSLR, and it's just connected through like HDMI. It looks really good. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
No! What are you? Stop!
Crap. A tricky part in getting it to look crisp on here, though, is actually the green screen. Green screens are a pain. You got to get all the settings just right. And I actually have lights that light up the bottom of the green screen so it doesn't get all fuzzy and crappy looking. Oh, here's another one of those faces we saw.
This is it. This is where he died.
This is so trippy. This reminds me of like Hellraiser or something. All right, we got a face. The mask of a man. Yeah, and then there's our co-host Bob. When I don't do the green screen just right, you can see a corner of my, like, my real world, I guess you could say, off the screen. We call him Bob the Black Triangle.
Okay, I still need his name. If
So,
only I could see the other side of this place.
Oh, maybe I put the mask on one of those other figures. Oh, thank you, Otaku. Yeah, I mean, it took some practice. If I turn off all my lights, the green screen looks terrible. I could show you, but I don't have an easy way of doing that from where I'm sitting right now. I think Andy just got up. The dogs are waking up. Okay, there's nothing over here. Oh, Blob from Phantasmagoria 2. I love Blob. Speaking of Blob and Phantasmagoria 2, for everybody that watched those streams, the actor that played the main character, Curtis, he just started a YouTube channel, and he's going back and interviewing all the people that were a part of the game. It's actually really cool. If you're interested, check out the YouTube channel. It's called Conversations with Curtis. And it's just kind of neat seeing them all again after all this time. Oh, another mirror. Okay, so we can swap back right here. I don't know if we need to do that quite yet, though. I don't think so. Guardians of the Galaxy has such a good soundtrack. Both of those movies. Oh, Otaku, this is such a unique game. I've never played anything quite like it. I played a lot of horror games. I love horror games, but the way this splits the two realities is so neat. Now, the character's name is Curtis, but the actor's name was not Curtis Phantasma. I forget what the actor's actual name is. Okay, before we go through the other mirror, I'm going to see if I can put that mask on one of these faces. Although I think we might need 2 masks, actually. Well, let's see if I have the right idea. It was just right over here. So if we go on this guy... Wait. Oh, now it's not letting me interact. That's weird. Before I was able to click on this and it would bring up my inventory. Now I no longer have that option. Maybe I'm not supposed to do it yet. I could see that. Yeah, somebody else mentioned the girl from Plague's Tale. I could see that for sure. We actually just streamed Plague Tale Innocence recently. That was a really cool game. I died a lot. I'm not good at stealth. Okay, so I think we do have to go through that mirror right now. Oh, I just noticed this. I don't know how I missed it before. Look at all these creepy hands right above me. Thankfully, they're not moving. Okay, so we're going to go back to the real world. Boom. Now where the hell are we? The worst jog in the world.
Oh. Some sort of a conference room.
Yeah, it looks like they would have events or something in here. Look at all these chairs. Oh, there's something right over here. Another phone. All these phones have been ripped apart. But I bet there's a clue. Here we go.
I gotta go. The voting's about to start. You know what they say, if you're early, you're on time. No, I mean right now. I can hear them gathering across the hallway. Yeah, I'll let you know how it went.
Voting for what?
Voice. That's the guy.
Oh, is that the same guy that called us, that brought us here, maybe? That happens to me a lot. Either I miss something important, or I get killed because I'm divided attention between the game and chat, and it is usually hilarious. Now those, like, I don't usually get upset when I die. Sometimes I feel like a death is kind of cheap, but those I think are the funniest. Disney, I really enjoyed that game. It was short, it was sweet, but I really dug that Murder House game. I kind of want to check out more games that company has done. I'm not sure what their best ones are. I'll have to check it out. Oh wait, are we on the other side of this door? We're trying to get to the place where the bolt cutters are. I don't think this is it. I did Disney. I played Layers of Fear off stream a long time ago. I've never played Layers of Fear 2. And they also have Layers of Fear in VR as well. Did it, Phantasma. That's really cool. And I never advertise it, but I do have a YouTube channel. It's mostly VODs from the streams, if that's more convenient for you guys to watch. But I do post some reviews and other videos there as well.
An attendance list. I'll bet the name I'm looking for is here on this page. But which one is it?
I'm trying to see if I recognize any of these names. Boris, Arthur. I don't see any of the ones that we've been talking about. Lust for Darkness. Is that one of those, like, Steam games that's, like, borderline pornography? I don't think so. I haven't played it. I haven't heard of it. Sounds like it might be a very sexy time game. Oh. I can look at every chair? 5, 7. Is this a puzzle? What is this? Disney. I need some chocolate too. Although I'm going to a friend's house later. There better to be chocolate. If you're listening to me, Spider, there better be chocolate. I'm just kidding. An ashtray. Ah, a clue.
I can't believe they sat me across from Boris. I don't care whose nephew he is. He's just a sexist pig for all I care. And late, as always.
Okay, so at first I'm like, what's wrong with Boris? But if he's a sexist pig, screw that guy. You would dare ask him for chocolate. I don't know. I think he just asked us to bring drinks. Usually we like to make something and bring food, but I think we're just bringing some drinks. We bought, Andy loves this, it's like a low alcohol wine, and it tastes just like a really good grape juice. I'm trying to think of the name. of it. It's not coming to me. If it does, I'll mention it, but it's good stuff. It won't get you too drunk too fast like regular wine. It's like 5 or 6% or something. Okay, so I can look at all of the chairs. I think this is going to have to do with like a seating chart puzzle later or something. I don't know. You know, one of my friends I saw, Secreto, was playing one of those games, like one of my local friends, and I'm like, what are you doing playing this like game? And he's like, dude, it's actually pretty good. It seems like it's going to be like a meme, just like porno game, but it actually has like some cool mechanics, and it's actually fun to play. It's not a game I could ever stream because that would get me banned, of course, but kind of cool that, you know, they're making those kind of games, but they're actually making them into good games. Okay, now I'm back here. What the hell am I missing? There's like really nowhere to go here. Agreed, Phantasma. F you, Boris. Okay, I can't even interact with this door. There's a seating, there's an attendance list and a seating chart. Oh, here we go. So now that we have Boris, we can focus on this name.
Boris. That's the guy he was talking about. Seat number 9.
What's interesting is he's the only... Oh, there's a couple. It says absent, and then it was crossed out, and it says present. I have Disney. I'm looking forward to streaming that game. What I need to do... I've streamed... I don't think I streamed Life is Strange 1. I played that offline, but I streamed Before the Storm, and then we started to stream Life is Strange 2. I was playing it with my wife, but there was a tragic scene early on, and we just quit the game. So I need to restart that game, play it by myself. So I kind of want to play that before Life is Strange True Colors, because that's definitely one I'd like to play.
Not that one either. This is it. The man I'm looking for. This is where he died.
So, is there like a thing I can focus on here? No? I thought it said seat number 9. It was because I was playing with my wife, and she was just not interested in the game anymore after the scene, which if you guys know, I don't want to spoil anything, but there's an animal scene later, or pretty early on in the game, that she was just not having. She's like, nope, I'm out. Oh, see, that sucks. Yeah, I always try my best not to give anybody any spoilers, Secreto. Or I'll give you guys a big warning if I need to talk about it, so you guys can earmuffs before I say anything. Okay, here's number 4.
That's it. Nicholas.
Nicholas is the one we're looking for. Okay.
Nick. Let's get you out of here.
So we got a face and we got a name. Now we can complete the puzzle, I think. Yeah, you're probably trying to think like, what animal stuff happened? And my wife, she would save all of our dogs' lives before she saved my life in a tragedy. She is a huge animal person. I think we might be done here. I think now that we have the name and the face, we could probably...
I can smell your soul.
Where is that?
I can taste.
Where's that coming from? I don't even know. Am I I don't think I'm hidden here. There's like nothing to hide behind. There we go. This might work. God, this is bad. This is bad.
Can't tell where one be.
Oh no, he's like invisible. He's still using that predator mode where I can't hardly see him. Can you guys see anything? He's like in the background. It looked like he walked right behind where that piece of paper is. But I can't see him. I feel like he's just standing there waiting for me. Yeah, agreed, Phantasm. You take care of yourself, John. Okay, let's snake. I feel like he's just about to grab me. Normally, when we're in the spirit world, we can see this creature. But in the real world, he's like camouflaged. So it's even creepier. Okay, don't make any loud noises, John. I don't think he cares about our flashlight, which kind of surprises me, but I checked the settings and there's no button to turn off your flashlight. I kind of thought there would be. You can hold your breath. I don't know exactly why we need to do that. Cause, welcome back, dude. How you doing? Which is funny, Sneaky John is one of my favorite clips on this channel is me trying to be sneaky and failing miserably. I'm talking myself up like, oh, I'm the stealth master. Immediately I get killed doing stealth. And it's kind of the meme of the channel. Oh, you've already been here, Kaz. I appreciate that, dude. Okay, I think we're safe. I don't know if he's going to follow us into this world. So let's get back to where that mask is. Although it's still playing creepy music. I don't know. Okay, hopefully we can use the mask and the name and figure out that puzzle. Yeah, those ceiling hands. I didn't like that. I'm glad they weren't moving, at least. What a crazy way to make a game. They had to basically make this game twice. Once for the regular world and then once for the spirit world. Okay, so it's going to be this one. And let's put the mask on him.
Time for you to get some rest.
There we go.
You've earned it, Nicholas.
Now do I...
Thank you, madam.
That was creepy. So now we have to help out this guy too.
One down, one to go.
The original
Get to
poggers. So I don't even know where the next mask is. Oh, here we go. I like this mechanic. The game kind of guides you in the right direction with these butterflies. Oh, I missed this earlier. The medium PogChamp. Make a good emote. Oh gosh, that song Disney was played so much. I got so sick of that music immediately, like in, what was it, 97 or whenever that movie came out. I can't even tell what's going on here. It looks like there's some dude covered in blood swinging a dagger, and like, is that somebody's head being cut off? I don't know. This one's called Bad Nursey. Oh, maybe that's a syringe. Maybe it's supposed to be a syringe. Being a nurse, I guess. Someone just exploded. Kind of looks like that too. There's still butterflies right here. What am I missing?
There we go.
Oh, there's a key right there. That was easy to miss. I walked right by that. Examination room. Okay, it's a weird thing to be bugged by, but notice when I click over to this cat statue really quick, just for the first quarter of a second, the graphics are very fuzzy. The textures haven't loaded in. It's just that for a split second, it doesn't have any graphics. I don't know why it does that. Like, I have a really fast hard drive that this game is installed on. I think it's just a limitation of the engine. I don't notice it too much in the main game. Just once in a while when a scene first loads, you see that. It used to be a big problem on like the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. You don't really see it too much anymore. It's a very minor issue though. It doesn't bug me really. Just I notice it. Okay, we haven't been in this room yet. We've finally unlocked the door. Oh, we found another postcard. We've seen a bunch of these. Honey, I miss you a lot. I really hoped you can join me soon. You would love it here. The weather is great. The sun is shining. The lake is beautiful. The people are nice. Nice and dead. All of them. Love. Holy crap, did that turn quickly? Everything is like so nice and sweet. You got to come here. This place is great. The people are nice. Nice and dead. All of them. That escalated very quickly. Fairy Dew, how you doing, Fairy Dew? Ooh, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say the majority of this game isn't very scary. Very atmospheric. But it's like 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10. But there's been a few brief moments that it's been pretty dang creepy. Some of those moments kind of reminded me of, have you ever played the games Little Nightmares? Kind of like that a little bit. So if you thought that was creepy, there's some creepy stuff here. Oh, Disney, I kind of doubt it. I think if they're going to do another Last of Us, it's not going to be part 3. I think it's going to be a whole different situation with different characters. I think they got so much backlash on that last one. I imagine them trying to do something very different next time. Yeah, there's only so much room on that postcard. They had to end that one quickly. That's right. They keep talking about a multiplayer mode. I'm kind of surprised we haven't heard more about it. It's weird. I mean, to be honest, Phantasma, the backlash probably helped them for that case in a way because it was in the news all the freaking time. You know, holy cow. Too little, too Nate. How are you doing, buddy? 28 months. That is insanity. 28 months. That makes me wish they finally would make a 28 months later movie. I'm so upset they haven't done that yet. We have 28 days later, 28 weeks later. They never made the 28 months later. They're supposed to. How are you doing, Nate? It's good to see you, dude. Let me drop some tokens in here. What is going on? How is your weekend so far? Hopefully things are going great. Yeah, they made a ton of money, and the game got a bunch of Game of the Year awards. I honestly really enjoyed Last of Us 2. I had no problem with where the story went. I had a problem with the pacing of the game. Without spoiling anything, the game builds up and builds up and builds up, and at the halfway point, there's a big shift, and it kind of starts you back at square one. And you have to build up and build up and build up to get to the same point, because it kind of tells the story out of order. I don't think that was the right choice. I got what they were doing, trying to tell two sides of the same story, but I think they did it totally incorrectly. They should have done them in tandem, and that way you don't lose that kind of emotional roller coaster at the top. You know, when you're on a roller coaster and it's building up and it's building up and it's about to get really exciting, and then the fall is just the payoff. Well, Last of Us did that, but when you got to the top, it put you back at the bottom again and started to do the same thing until it got up to the apex of the excitement. I didn't like that. I disagreed with that, but the game, of course, is super high quality. The acting, the graphics, the sound, the gameplay, all fantastic. I just kind of wish they would have done their story in a different style a little bit. I didn't have a problem with the story. I didn't have a problem with how they killed off any characters or anything like that. I was totally fine with that. I just didn't like the structure of the game as much as 1. I think 1 is a better game. And Nate, you're not bad. Your foot is still injured, so you're sitting down icing it today. Nate, what did you do to your foot? What happened, dude? Let's see here. And you think they could have cut a lot of the filler in both Ellie and Abby's sections? That's probably true, too. It did feel longer than it had to be. I think Last of Us 2 was like, took me like 30 hours to beat or something. Last of Us 1 was like half that size. You have no idea? It just started hurting really bad the other day. I wonder if you just like pulled something. You know how you can like pull something, like if you're like laying in bed and you get like a Charlie horse or something and like just your leg hurts real bad. I wonder if you just ripped a muscle or something. That sucks, dude. I'm so sorry. Ring Banana, how's it going? You've been watching for like an hour and you haven't said hi. You lurking crazies. How you doing, Ring Banana? Thank you for dropping in. I appreciate you watching regardless, but also appreciate you saying hi. Agreed, Disney. I didn't have a problem with Abby's character. I actually really like that idea of learning that part of the story. I just think it should have been told in tandem with Ellie's story. Like do one chapter here, one chapter there, one chapter here, one chapter there. And then it just builds up to that huge moment. Okay, we got another mirror here. We just keep swapping back and forth, don't we? Hopefully you can get time off work, Nate, because yeah, if it's your foot, you can't be like walking around and doing stuff. That sucks. I guess we're ready. Is there anything else we have to do in here? Let me try following this clue. Oh, can we sneak around here? I don't think so. Sometimes your character can kind of like, you know, press up against the wall and shimmy around. It doesn't look like it's going to let me. I think we have to do that in this world. Let's swap over. There we go. Now we can easily walk right past it. Yeah, and when it gets into the political side of stuff, as far as like how the characters are portrayed or stuff, that's just all nonsense. It's just a story. That's who the characters are. Deal with it. I mean, they even had that in the first game with the expansion and stuff and built on that. So I don't have any problem with that at all, but there are, like you say, a lot of, especially in gaming, it seems like, just everywhere in the world, but in gaming, a lot of very closed-minded people. A lot of young people, unfortunately, that are that closed-minded. That's so sad. Here's some creepy screams, but I don't see anything. But you get that with big games all the time. You know, we've played some, like, very niche games that explore some dark and weird stuff that's not the norm, but they don't get flack because they're catering to that audience, and that audience enjoys that content. But when you have a game as big as, like, The Last of Us, everybody's going to play it. So you're going to get the vast majority's garbage opinions, unfortunately. Okay, now that we've snuck across, I wonder if we can open up any of these doors. This is probably just a dead end, but gotta check it out. Nope. Let's go that other way. So Max, without spoiling anything, because a certain character died, he then cut the disc in half because, oh crap. I'm hiding. I'm hiding. And that's personal experience. That makes a lot more sense, I guess. Holy crap. I don't like it when he's cloaked. I can hardly see him. I know when I saw that clip, Max, I originally thought, oh, he's like just doing this for a... Oh, crap. Like a radical reaction kind of thing. Okay, he's just kind of doing circles. So I have to kind of follow him, I think, so I can get around. There we go. Oh, this guy's so creepy. Oh, can we sneak under there? I see a spot. There we go. I don't like it. Oh, no, no, no. Hide, hide. Okay, I think we're good here. I don't like how she stands up when she walks, even when I'm still sneaking.
Don't worry.
It's hard to tell what direction he's going. Oh no, he's coming back. Okay, same kind of deal. We gotta follow him in a circle. Can't tell where he is. I need him to start coming this direction so I can go through that door. Poor Nate. It's like, oh no. Okay, I think he's walking around now. Let's go this way. That dude is so creepy. Even when you can't really see him, he's creepy as hell. But he looks really cool in the spirit world. And when I say cool, it's because I like horror stuff, so he looks terrifying.
I'm getting close. That woman was here.
Okay, I think we're safe for now. Yeah,
This room has
and
"guy"
relief.
written all over it. In big sloppy letters.
Why? Are guys the only people that are messy? It's funny, in my relationship, I'm the kind of more neurotically clean one, and Andy's the, I'll clean it up later type.
Oh. She was a ballerina?
Oh, what do we have
Nice
here?
card. Was Vivienne one of your stars?
Eugene Denesk? Is that how you say that? Oh, that's cool. It's like reversed on the other side. There's Vivian. Anything else to look at? Oh, I forget to, I always forget to do that. I gotta use my insight to see if there's, like, some memories. Oh, like right there. Why does it keep disappearing? There we go.
Okay, last one. I can barely feel my wrist. I don't care. I just want to go to bed. I need to be alone.
Yeah, there's gonna be some creepy stuff happening to this poor girl.
Vivienne? Just Vivienne?
Like
No.
Prince or something.
Probably just a stage name.
Oh no. I see a peephole. I don't like that.
That name, it's everywhere. But that wasn't the real you. Yeah, this wasn't her room. I'm guessing her manager?
Oh, so he was very obsessed with Vivian. Let's see. The one thing you find absolutely disgusting is that a guy in Reddit sent DTs to himself on an alt account and blamed it on a YouTuber. That's just shady as heck, Max. And he got the whole sub on his side with fake screenshots until the YouTuber figured out it was the guy himself. Luckily, people on the internet, they're really good detectives, and they'll find holes in stories and bring it to light usually. So I'm glad they did find that out, but man, that's shady.
There. That's her room. Someone couldn't even let her have her privacy.
Yeah, this guy's a creeper. Okay, let's go to the more creepy world, unfortunately. That was the most chaotic streams we've ever had, was playing Last of Us 2. Just how toxic the general community on Twitch was for that game, going into channels and trying to spoil the game and stuff. We did find some workarounds, which helped quite a bit, and thank you, Mod Team, for all the work you guys did, but man, that was probably the toughest game we've ever had to stream. I still really enjoyed it. We had some great moments and some really funny clips playing that game, and I'm glad I got to experience it, of course, but speaking of new games to experience, Andy wanted to play that new game 12 Minutes. Have you guys heard of it or seen it? We tried it on Game Pass last night. I'm really digging it so far. It's pretty neat. It's very repetitive because that's the type of game it is. You're reliving the same 12 minutes like Groundhog's Day and trying to, you know, get out of the situation, essentially. But I'm really liking it so far. Okay, there's another mirror here just on the other side of the door, but I want to
This
check
is where it happened.
this area first.
Of all the places.
Yeah, and that's... I mean, they don't allude to that at all, Phantasma. I don't quite get that. That was just kind of like everybody bandwagoning on the hate for what happened in the spoilers, is what I thought of it. Okay, let's take this mask. We have to find who this belongs to, and I think we have the name Vivian already.
You? What are you? No! Get out! Ah! No!
No, not pleasant.
Jeez. Sounded like she was talking to that monster.
And still no name.
Oh,
There's gotta be something.
I guess I assumed that was Vivian. Maybe not. So let's swap back. God, this world looks so cool. It's just like bones and like people in the walls and everything.
Okay. Let's find out who you really were.
So now we're actually in Vivian's room. You know, in a way, this kind of reminds me of At Dead of Night, where we're kind of going through a dilapidated building, talking to spirits, and like finding out the backstory of all these different characters here.
The page was torn out. I can't make out the numbers.
There is one number down here, though. Is that 5896? Or is that 86? I have a hard time telling. True that, Relentless. It's still one of the best memes on the channel. I love that. Oh, we need an item to interact with this. Okay. You know what? I bet we can take like a pencil or something and kind of scratch it on the paper and uncover more information. Yeah, that's brilliant, Max. I love that. And I like how smart people are in working collectively to figure people's BS out online. Because I've seen so many, not to bring down Twitch streamers and things, but people taking advantage of others' generosity and things. Like I remember I saw one clip on YouTube about this guy that was like in a wheelchair, and you know, he would do all kinds of stuff for like, I don't know if it was like charity work, but you know, he would talk about his handicap and stuff like that. And then at one moment he thought that he like, you know, changed scenes or something, but he didn't. And then the dude like just stood up out of his wheelchair and like walked away, and everyone's like, what the hell? And it turned out he was just milking it for all it was worth, and he was never handicapped in the first place. It's like, dear God, come on. Okay, I bet we're gonna find a clue on this. What does it say? Ellie and Tori.
I guess one of these names belongs to your true self. But which one is it?
Yeah, right, Relentless. I love that. Well, I mean, the greatest thing is like he thinks, I mean, it was probably some young kid, but he thinks he's doing a great, you know, slight. He thinks he's like really putting it to us. And it's like, that's not a bad thing in any way. And yeah, thank you for pointing that out, you dumbass. Oh, that was amazing. It's like, oh, cool, you can read. Great job. That's the education system at work. Now, I don't know what you guys think about this, Nate, and I've gone over it a few times just kind of internally, but I know a lot of allies will put like LGBTQ plus or things like that in the tags, and I was reading what other people think about that, and I kind of decided it makes better sense if I don't. This is a very, of course, welcoming and friendly place for everybody. You know, I want to make sure nobody gets discriminated against. Everyone feels welcome. Just everybody is cool here. But, and of course, we're allies and friends of everybody here, but I don't think it's right for me to use those tags. Not only because that I'm not, but because people want to find others in similar situations, you know. So it's great if somebody stumbled upon here that was that and found a safe place to hang out. But I almost feel like it's, I don't want to say like misadvertising, but like, you know, people that want to find somebody that's trans as another streamer does find them using those tags, you know, as I'm not kind of thing. If there was like an allies tag or something, then I would use that, of course, but there isn't. So I kind of feel like it's not right using those other tags. Oh, did they actually add an ally tag? It's been a while since I checked, and they didn't have one before. I didn't realize they added one. I do remember they were taking on the A for asexual, and that's not right either. Oh, that's cool. No, I'll definitely... Well, that's, what the hell? Now that I just learned, so I don't forget. Let's go ahead and add that right now. Because I'm bad about that. There's a meme of how many times can I say, oh yeah, I definitely need to do that. And then poof, it's gone. I don't remember to do it. Let's see here. There we go. Done. There we go. Sweet. There's not a whole lot of tags I can use on my streams. Usually it's just like first playthrough and single player. That's pretty much it. But I'm glad there's another tag that can help people looking for a place like this. It's friendly to everybody that could jump in. But I don't know. It always bums me out seeing that, because people are just people. Whatever your preferences, whatever that kind of stuff. Totally fine. You're not hurting anybody else. That's when I have a problem with people's behaviors. When you hurt somebody else actively, then that's a problem. But if you just, you know, whatever you like, you're not hurting anybody else. People are just people. Love everybody. It's just bizarre.
I still don't know her real name. Just words. Sounds without meaning.
Oh, and that too. And we might bring on some of that using that tag, of course, but bring it on, jerks. What are you going to do? That's one thing, is like, nobody's ever going to get a rise out of me. Like trolls and things like that. We've had some pretty bad trolls in the channel. A pretty bad troll. But it just doesn't bug me. I don't know. But I have heard a lot about that hate rating, and that's ridiculous. Okay, so I definitely need an item here. We found 2 names. I think we need to switch to the other world here. True, well, we'll see how bad it is. I mean, it is possible that it brings more bad than good. And we could remove the tag for that reason, but of course we're never going to change how welcome we are to everybody and things like that. We'll see how it goes. But what do you guys think? Like, I think it's a good thing to use that tag, of course. I never had the option before, and I didn't want to use the other tags because I wanted to make sure that viewers looking for, you know, LGBTQ folks could find them easily. Now, we started in this world, and we grabbed a mask here. What else am I missing? Looks like there's something here. This is where the butterflies are hanging out. I feel like there's something right here. Maybe I have to... Can I get through the door here? No, it's just this door.
I still don't know her real name. Just words. Sounds without meaning.
There's something right here on the floor. That's so easy to miss. Here's the piece of paper.
Partial numbers. One of these must have meant something to her.
There we go. Let's see, Nate, you think it's good? A lot of the time joining new streams, it could be kind of awkward to suss out if someone's going to be cool and welcoming. So overall, you like the tag a lot. That makes a lot of sense because and this is like the biggest thing that I need to do is just, and everybody, is just listen and understand folks that deal with things much differently than you do, of course. You know, I can be as welcoming and nice to folks as I can, but it also helps if I hear stories and understand things like that. And I never really thought of like folks that go into a new stream ever having to even think that like people might just treat me like trash as soon as, you know, I mention something. And like that's of course terrible, but that's something I don't often ever think about. So knowing that the ally tag can help with that immediate sort of like, you know, awkwardness of like wondering, oh, should I talk here? Are these people going to be cool? That's really good to know. Thank you, Nate. And you think it's okay to use? You know, some people who have a problem with it because some streams just use a tag but don't practice active allyship, but it's okay for me. And that's kind of, I mean, I've never like kind of gone out of my way to like, I don't know, bring any particular audience here. It just kind of happened naturally. And just some of the most awesome folks I've ever met on Twitch have been in the LGBTQ community. And that's fantastic. It just kind of happened. Yeah, that's the bigger reason why I didn't want to use that tag. It didn't seem right. I can understand people wanting to use it as an ally, but it's not the best use of it, for sure. Okay, so let's go ahead and add this piece of paper here.
There. A bunch of numbers,
There
some
we
would
go.
say. But I sensed there was a lot more to them.
And I could see that too, Max. Yeah, I mean, she always goes by Andy, spelled like you would normally see a guy's name, Andy, like A-N-D-Y, not A-N-D-I or something. But everybody calls her something different. Like a lot of her family calls her Dre. Some people call her Andrea. But usually with friends and stuff, she just goes by Andy. Oh, now we can... There's a working phone?
Oh my God,
No.
Ellie! I thought you were. No, I'm really happy to hear from you. Why didn't you call sooner? You did? But Eugene, that slippery son of a bitch.
Ellie. She was very special to her. You don't need to be a medium to see it.
So we had
So-
two names.
If you were talking to Ellie, that means... Tori.
Yeah.
It's you. The real you. That's your name. It made sense, really. A name is more than what everyone calls you. It's what you feel yourself to be.
So the ballerina's name is Tori. And it's so funny how that works, Nate. It's like you get used to one thing, and it's just like, yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. Like when I was growing out my facial hair, I'm sure it just looked weird. You weren't used to seeing me with a beard, which, I mean, it's getting close to November. Get ready for it again. But it's one of those things like you used to seeing Andy as Andy. You're just like, yeah, that's Andy. And then you hear Andrea, you're like, no, that's weird. I don't like it. Although, kind of like with me, I always just see myself as John, but my name is actually Jonathan. Nobody calls me by that unless you just met me. Okay, now we can use the door, now that we have the name and the face. Yeah, hey, Jonathan, use the door. That's a good one, though. Use Jonathan when I'm in trouble. When I did something terrible, you guys can call me Jonathan. My mom doesn't even do that. I mean, of course, my mom hardly ever uses my name. Wait, we've been here before, haven't we? This is where we had to sneak around that creature. Yeah, Mr. Jonathan Cadia, please don't kill everybody. No promises. Okay, when we snuck by here originally, it was in the real world, so let's check it out in this world now. Wait, is there no door? Maybe I can't actually go that way in this world. But now we can sneak this way. I think this is the way we need to go. Man, I get lost enough in games as is. It's even harder when we have
lie. It felt good.
two worlds to
Putting
think
that
about.
curse of mine to good use. Moments like that used to keep me going. Now, I'm not sure anymore.
We did. It feels like we're backtracking, which we are. But we got the mask and the name for that other spirit that's blocking that doorway. That's why we have to go back here. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the right way. But now I'm trying to remember which world was it in? Was it in the real world that spirit thing existed? It must have been, because we have to use this mirror. Yeah, we're just trying to get back to where we got stuck earlier. I do remember that. Oh my gosh. That's okay, though. I mean, it was weird because of the backtracking. That made it tricky. Mandy, how's it going, Mandy? Long time no see. Can't stay for long because you're doing some D&D with the guys shortly, but want to pop in and say hi. Appreciate it. It's good to see you. What kind of D&D session are you guys doing? Are you starting up a new one? Or are you in the middle of a campaign? I haven't played D&D in so long, but it's good to see you. It's been a while, Mandy. That's right. I wasn't running when I was holding that shield up. So it was totally me failing the mechanics of the game. Okay, I think it's right here is where we get blocked. But I need to get to the other world to bring those spirits back. Where is the mirror? Was it over here? Wait, what is this? Why can't I walk through there? Oh, I think this is where I first started. Oh no, you were trying to be helpful, and it was helpful. It just kind of made me know, like, okay, I know where I'm at in the story. I think I'm just failing something. It's going to be a short one, not really monster killing, but more background stuff, and they're building a farm set. Oh, that's really fun. More of a story-focused section of this campaign rather than just all combat. There's got to be... Oh, here we go. Totally missed this. Now we should be able to put the mask on. All right, our ballerina friend. Here's your mask.
It's okay. You can be free now, Tori.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, I haven't heard of Martha is dead at all. What is that?
You did it, Marianne. Sent them away. To a better place, I hope.
Nice. Now we can finally get through here.
Anywhere's better than here.
I have another game in my Steam list called The Suicide of Rachel Foster. Have you guys heard of that? It seemed like a fascinating game, but I haven't looked too much about it. Okay, so it looks like we can drop down there, or we can go over here. Oh, another mirror. Set in 1944 Italy, so like World War II times. That sounds pretty cool. So you may have heard of it, but nothing beyond that. I think I got it in one of those Humble Bundles, but I haven't tried it yet.
Will you just let me pick you up already?
Oh, this is where the bolt cutters are. Okay, so now if we go back to this mirror, we should be able to backtrack and pick them up. Yeah, that's one thing I'm worried about. I'm not sure how triggering the game will be. Mr. Rekowitz, I think that's how you say that, is being unreasonable. To put it mildly, I'm a nurse, not a nanny. I understand that he needs someone to keep an eye on her, but I have my hands full as it is. Even pulling aside all my other duties, there's poor Mr. Tarkowski to take care of. Still, I try to do my best. At least the girl's quiet, keeps to herself mostly. Likes talking to her imaginary friends, but I figure it's quite normal for someone her age. Sometimes I can hear her playing out full conversations, and I'd swear it sounds like two people talking. She is really gifted. I guess it runs in her family. Oh, yeah, that's getting into some dark stuff. It's about a relationship between a minor and adult. And it's in the game's description? Okay. And some reviews felt that the game poorly handled this and glamorized it. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. Thank you for the heads up. Although they probably have websites that, I know they have them for movies and television shows that kind of tell you what kind of content there really is and how bad it is. That might be worth looking into in that game before streaming it for sure. Okay. Oh, bolt cutters, John. Eyes on the prize. Here we go.
Yes. Fucking finally.
That's what I'm saying.
Time to get back to the day room.
We've been trying to find these things forever.
This place. This is where it started.
Oh, I don't remember interacting with this. That is a really bloody wheelchair. What the hell?
Hello, my love. It's your favorite nurse. Are you in there? Even a speck of you left? I hope so. 'Cause I want you to feel
Oh no.
everything.
Holy crap, is that dark?
The nurse. It got to her first. But why?
The nurse is just torturing someone in this wheelchair. Is this the guy that gave her a flower earlier? You're right. It all comes around, Phantasma.
I'd never felt darkness like that before.
That was
That thing
gruesome.
had been there. It was where it made its first kill. Where it tasted death. And liked it.
So is that spirit that's following us? It like possessed her maybe? My poor, poor Mr. Tarkowski. Whatever happened to you? The test came back, no signs of any brain trauma or dementia. And still, I look into your sad, empty eyes, and I have this awful feeling there's no one looking back. Don't worry, my love. I'll take care of you no matter what. I'll make sure you're as happy as can be. 450 milligrams of Venla vaccine. That'll cheer you right up. I don't know what that is. Hopefully that's good. That's what's fun though, Phantasma, about making those like wild accusations, is that one time you're correct, it's all worth it. Because it was like, seemed so out of left field. There's no way. And boom, you nailed it. Okay, so we're trying to get back to... Oh, is it an antidepressant? Okay, that's not like something she's doing to torture this guy yet. That was probably when she was still trying to help the guy, I think. Making sure we don't miss any doors or anything. Oh, thank you too as well, Mandy. Oh, here's where we need the bolt cutters. We were here a long time ago. We just didn't have the right tool for the job. Tap left trigger and R trigger to cut the chain. Took a lot of tries.
So worth it. I love you, bolt cutters.
We still haven't found Thomas. So as we were looking for Thomas, the spirit told us we should actually go find someone named Richard, I think. And we haven't even found Richard yet. This whole thing is like a wild goose chase. And Thomas is the one, I believe, that called us here. But I think we need to find out more backstory before we find him. Alright, we're going downstairs. That's funny. A 3-year-old named Richard. You don't see that name a whole bunch, honestly. Probably because of the nickname to Richard. That was weird. I couldn't walk down here. So I'm a little confused, and I'm not sure what changed, but I used to have the ability to hold B and go into the spirit world, and I can't do that anymore. We also used to have, like, split screen all the time, and we haven't seen it in a long time. Now it seems like we have to use the mirrors to go between worlds, and I'm not exactly sure what changed. Oh, sweet. We can break this one, too. It seems like we devolved, though. It seems like we were more powerful before. There we
Kinda
go.
sounds like a spy name. Cutters. Bolt cutters.
You mean like CIA? Also,
Or a movie star. Like, in a movie you don't use your real name for.
like a porno? Did you guys start playing that Diablo
Spy
2
name it
Resurrected beta this weekend? I think it's going on right now until tomorrow. I was thinking about it, but I think I kind of want to wait for the full game to make sure. I don't usually like to play demos. I see, but now we're not linked, and you can pop out wherever you want. If there's a mirror around, that's true. But we used to be able to change, like, at any time. I don't think we need to be going this way right now. We probably have to use the mirror first. Oh, was it last weekend as well? How do you like it, Jumi? I was a huge Diablo 2 fan. I loved that game. It was great. It's still my favorite Diablo game by far. Dude, we had a ton of bolts to cut. So I think this is the way we need to go. I don't know that we need to go to the spirit world right now. And I played Diablo 3 with Andy, but I never played Diablo 2 with her. I wasn't playing it when we met and started dating. So that'll be her first experience with Diablo 2. There we go. So all of this place is new. We've never been over here before.
Let's see what Sadness wanted me to see. I hope she's all right.
This is the day room, I think, where I guess the kids get taken care of or something. I'm not sure. We're probably going to get some very sad children's stories back here. So it's pretty good. They definitely got some things to work on bug-wise, and beware, all the characters aged with us. That's funny. So all the characters actually look older than they did in Diablo 2. I love it. I'm not sure what class I would play. I used to always play Paladin. I think I'd probably try a Necromancer. I mean, I am basically the god of death on stream. Why not in the game? Yeah, this is the day room where they take care of all the kids. I guess we're going this way, but let me make sure there's nothing else out here. Oh, this is where we started. So why couldn't I open up this door before? Is it also bolt cutter? Ah, that's what it was.
All right.
Ta-da!
Here we go.
That was a long side mission just to get in this door, but we learned a lot. Story time. Oh crap, we're back to split screen. There she is.
Marianne?
There you are. Thank God.
You're all right. I was so worried.
Oh, yeah. That thing almost got me. What the hell is it?
It came from shame. From helplessness. From rage.
Rage.
It's like anger, but more. Once it got out, we couldn't stop it. It ate all of them, Marianne. all of my friends.
Your friends.
I'm the only one left.
It's okay, Sadness. I'm here now.
No, no. It'll eat you too. Just like the others.
That's creepy.
I won't let it hurt you, I promise.
Oh, I never saw the ball in this world. It's all
Why
dilapidated.
don't you tell me something about this place?
It's the day room. We used to play here.
It's cool seeing the ball floating on the other side.
With Richard? Is he one of your friends?
No. But he was smart. Maybe he could help you.
He was smart. Wait, is he?
A bad thing happened to him.
Ruh-roh.
I remember he became hollow, like a puppet. He... Oh... I remember. Marianne. I don't want to see him.
What?
He's gonna be
Why
creepy.
not? What do you remember?
No. Don't tell them.
It's
Don't
okay.
tell anyone.
You don't have to tell me. But you should still come with me so that I can keep you safe.
No! No!
And she's gone.
The
No,
Sadness!
never again.
Why did you bring me here?
One step forward and two steps
It was
back.
then I realized there was something she wanted me to see with my own eyes.
Yep, it's time to cut some really gross skin. Yeah, the graphics in this game are fantastic. And Relentless, she was giving him over the normal, like, maximum dose. So no, she wasn't helping him. That sounds like she was already starting to try to torture him. Jeez, that is creepy. It's kind of like that other note that we read where it's like, oh, everything's great. You know, we're all so happy. Everyone is here. Everyone is dead kind of thing. I never played that game, Folklore. That was on PS3, right, Nate? It was like one of those kind of obscure games that only ever came out on the PS3. I remember it existed, but I never did play it. Did you like it? Oh, it's one of your favorite ones as a kid. Nice. And Max, you don't know why, but the caps text was what creeped me out the most. It did, right? It's just like it totally changed the tone of what the spirit was saying. Oh, it's when you first got it, you got it. Sounds like one of your first PS3 games. That's awesome. Oh, we'll see you soon, Phantasma. Absolutely, especially when you have that nostalgic connection. That's super fun to do. All right, it's time to cut this thing. Get ready for your ASMR. It's so juicy.
Richard? Are you there?
Oh, that would be great if he was right here. Jumi, I love that emote. It looks so offended. Oh, I see a bunch of moths blocking this door right here. We might be able to use our power to get through there. But before we do that, let's see what else there is. Oh, something down here.
A sheet of music. Well, at least part of it.
Mazurka. Anybody familiar with that song? Right in! You literally just woke up and joined. We are getting a lot further in this game. We're still trying to follow that spirit. She's leading us to somebody named Richard, but apparently something bad happened to Richard, so we're going to find out soon. Good morning, Raiden. My wife also slept in super late. What time is it for you? What time did you go to bed? Okay, so we're going to probably need that. Now look at this. Can I go back there? Oh no. It was kind of cool. If I hit X or A, it focused either on the top screen or the bottom screen. I kind of like that. It is a lively Polish dance in triple time. Mandy, are you Polish or are you familiar with Polish? Oh, you Googled that. Okay, I was going to say, I didn't think we had anybody in the chat from Poland, but it seemed like there was some languages, some text that was Polish. I think you're right, Raiden. Yeah, that same guy, and we've been seeing him more often, but he's been cloaked like a predator. I hate it. I hate it so much. I remember the first time I met him, working a simple factory job, still more of a boy than a man, wide-eyed, constantly looking over his shoulder like a scared animal. His parents had died in the Warsaw Uprising, of what he'd gone through in the years that followed. He did not want to speak, and I never pressed him, but it soon became clear he had no one else in the world. I could immediately tell that despite his young age, he had seen things that no one his age should. I could immediately tell he was special. Oh, you were up until 7 a.m. and it's 5 p.m. where you are? Dang, well, you actually got a lot of sleep. That's not too bad. It's like a really long night of sleep, actually. But if I stayed up until 7 a.m., the same thing would happen to me. Dapper! What is up, Dapper? Good to see you, dude. Do you usually get more sleep than that, Raiden? I usually get like 6 hours. 7 if I'm really good. Get the horsey. Oh, there's a clue here.
Gather round, children. I want you to meet Lilianne. She's going to be joining our painting class.
Why can't I play with my friends, Uncle Richard?
Your friends?
Uncle Richard.
Oh, Lilianne, I promised your father you would spend some time with the other children.
Friends.
That's weird. Dapper, we are playing a game called The Medium, where we play a character that can talk to the spirit world and can also go back and forth between the real world and the spirit world. It's a pretty cool, creepy horror game, but a lot of puzzles too. You try to get no more than 4 to 6. 4 might be pushing it, right, and you probably need more than that, but 6, I think most people can survive on 6. But everybody's body's different. I'm usually fine on 6. Yeah, it does this really neat split screen thing where you get to see both realities at the same time. Oh, here's another chunk of that sheet music, but it looks like there's still more missing. Nothing else here to look at. Now, you're not always controlling 2 screens at the same time, just sometimes. Oh, here's another thing. Oh, this is another note. Thomas. Oh, finally, somebody's referring to Thomas, who's one person we're looking for. I've always been stunned by the depth and complexity of his imagination, mesmerized by the surreal dreamscapes his mind would weave, the way he described them, with every minute detail. It was as if he had actually witnessed all of it, as if something, or someone, pulled the veil and allowed him to peek beyond the edges of our reality. An angel? A demon? Is there really a difference? I know it didn't matter to me, as his visions came alive on my canvas. As some would say, I used the boy to fuel my waning creativity, but how could I not? To let this unique perspective, this bottomless well of inspiration go to waste, that would be an unforgivable sin. Okay, now usually I wait until the end of the stream, but I want to try to start doing these more kind of in the middle of the streams. That way we can get maybe more folks, because some people, sorry about that, have to take off and whatnot. But let us do a quick game giveaway. I tried to find something that was kind of along the same vibe of this game, something kind of creepy, something cerebral. So let us do that real quick. Let me just get this giveaway going. I have to log into this website. Been a while since I've been here, I guess. Let's see here. There it is. Unforgiggle. What would an unforgiggle even sound like? I love that. Boom. Alrighty guys, so to join in this giveaway, this is for a Steam code for a new game. Just go ahead and type !ticket in chat. It only costs 5 tokens. You guys all probably have 5 tokens. You can also double your chances by typing !ticket 2. and it'll cost you 10 tokens, but you probably have plenty. And see, yeah, like Twill, you already have 55 tokens in the channel, so you can easily do that. And if you're not familiar with how the tokens work in the channel, you normally get 1 token every 10 minutes you're in the chat, just watching the stream. And if you're subscribed to the channel, you actually get double that amount. You get 2 tokens every 10 minutes. And anytime we do mini games, like if I drop a token like that, you guys jump up and pick it up, then you get more as well. So it racks up pretty quick. I'll give you guys another minute to join just in case anybody is lurking. I want to be sure they have a chance to get back and jump into the giveaway. We have 5 entries right now. We have Raiden, Twill, Dapper, Relentless, and Max. I'll give you guys a few more seconds to jump in here. Let's see here. Yeah, anytime I do a giveaway, it doesn't always work out. I look at the list of extra keys that I have, but I try to find one that, whatchamacallit, has a similar vibe to the game we're playing, or maybe is like the same type of game. Doesn't always work, but sometimes I can find something. All right, give you another few seconds. I think you did get your second one. Oh no, I guess you only have one. What if you type !tokens, right? And how many do you have right now? It's gonna say you probably have enough. Hey, there it goes. I guess you had to force it to do 1. That's interesting. Nice catch, Dapper. Nice catch. Okay, 10 more seconds and we'll wrap this up. So go ahead and type !ticket in the chat to join the giveaway, or forever hold your peace. In 3, 2, 1. All right, closing the giveaway. We got 5 entries. Everybody has 2 tickets. Drum roll, please. Who is the winner? Bam. Relentless with a 20% chance to win. Congratulations. Which creepy game did you win?
The Northmen say the world will come to an end. The sun will grow black, the earth will sink into the sea, the stars will disappear, fire and water will meet, flames will play against the sky, the heavens and earth and all the world will be burned, all the gods will be dead, and the warriors of Valhalla and people everywhere. Senua, prepare yourself for Ragnarok, for it is nigh.
PlayStation.
Nice. Congratulations, Relentless. We streamed that game. God, that was like 2 years ago or so. That game was fantastic. Be sure you wear headphones when you play that, because the way the sound works and the people talking to you, whispering and stuff, it is just so creepy. I didn't have a chance to send that out real quick. I'm trying to find it. Let's see here. Usually I have it ready to go, but I didn't this time. I was kind of in a rush. Give me just one moment. If I can't find it right now, I'll do it at the end of the stream. Usually I have it ready, but I didn't this time. In before he can't find the key. I know I have it. Some of these are just more well hidden than others, because I have keys in like a couple different places. Let's see. Okay, I'll get that one to you, professional streamer. I know. I'll do it at the end of the stream. If you're there, be sure you remind me. But yeah, we'll do it as we're wrapping things up. But congratulations, Relentless. That is awesome. Such a cool game. I really enjoyed that one. And it's fun when I get to give one away that I've actually streamed in the past. I love that. Okay, this should pop up in just 1 second. There we go. All right, still exploring this creepy, creepy day room. Any Chris Hansen fans in the chat? Didn't I just hear he got in trouble for something? He's the guy that does all of those how to catch a predator or something videos, and I thought I heard he just got arrested for something. Not for being a predator, but it was like tax evasion or something like that. Which, I don't get that. Pay your dang taxes. Okay, we've already found that. Oh, that's right. I was looking for music notes or music sheets. Did he actually get like arrested? I don't know if he's still in jail or whatever, but that's just wild. It's so funny. Somebody whose job it was to put into jail is now in jail.
Locked.
Okay, we don't have anything for this. Can we use the bolt cutters? Chop off the doorknob. Okay, so we're going to have to use our ability. Gosh, I don't remember how to do that. And then run through here. Is it the right bumper? Left bumper? He is still in jail? That's crazy. Actually, no, I don't have any of that power. I can't actually get through there. How do I do that? Oh, here we go. I missed this before. Oh, I have to line this up.
Don't you think he would be better off in a nursing home?
I haven't seen one of those in a while.
What about his family?
Richard doesn't have any family.
Oh, the poor man. It's like he's somewhere else. We were close once, you know. I mean, not that close, but... All right. I'll take care of him.
Hollow like a puppet. Isn't that what Sadness said?
Oh yeah, she's gonna take care of him all right. She ends up torturing this poor guy. But I don't know why. What was the motivations behind that torture? I think they say puppet because he was just like, there was nothing left to him. He's just like an empty shell of a person.
Don't you think he would be better off in a nursing home? What about his family?
Oh, we already listened to this. Can I get power from this? I don't think so. How am I going to get through there? We don't have any abilities right now. I could see that. If you're a puppet, you also might have strings, right? Somebody's controlling you. Okay, there's nothing in that center. I feel like I missed something as I was walking around. Maybe I wasn't looking at the bottom screen enough. There might be something else here. I was mostly just focusing on the top screen. We looked at that already. Did I look at this note? I think I missed this. I spent a few years trying to steer him in the right direction, trying to make him see the depth of his potential. He kept refusing, claiming that he was no painter and that he saw our little get-togethers as therapy, rather than artistic expression. Eventually, I wore him down. He agreed to enter the university, but on the condition that it would be his chosen field. And so, he started on his way to becoming an architect. At first, I was rather skeptical, thinking that he was throwing away greatness for mere competence. But deep inside, I guess I was glad to be the only one to bring his visions to life. And then he met her. Our painting sessions became few and far between. He no longer needed my help in dealing with his inner demons. Is this why... Is this the nurse that's writing this? I wonder if she got real jealous and that's when she started, you know, torturing this poor guy. I don't know. Hey, welcome back, Phantasma. Let the trauma begin. Or continue, in this case. Oh, it looks like... I actually can't get through this room. Because it's like blocked off in this reality. Dang it. I had to have walked right by something that I need. Oh, we can go in this room.
This place is packed with memories.
I totally missed this.
Bad ones. Guilt. Humiliation. Rage.
Rage. Yes, what did you think of that game, Phantasma? I played it a little bit with Andy. I was really digging it so far. It's very repetitive, of course, by nature, but I'm really liking it so far. It's interesting. We haven't gotten too far. I don't want to spoil anything, but I've gotten to the point where it's easy for time to run out naturally, and I'm not sure what else to do. So I'm still figuring a lot of things out. There's a lot of notes in this area. It became a habit of ours. We'd sit down, sketchbook at the ready, and he'd close his eyes and start talking, describing all of the things he saw in his mind, the horror and splendor of worlds beyond our own. What started out as an innocent exercise in imagination ultimately became a bottomless well of inspiration. My hand wouldn't dare rest, sketching furiously as he described the indescribable. For a while, I wondered why he was so eager to share his visions with me. To him, they seemed to be a burden, a source of great pain and distress. But finally, I understood. He sought to share them with someone who saw them as a source of beauty rather than madness. I love that name, Max. The Phantasmanian devil. So, I guess it wouldn't be much of a spoiler, but like where are you getting stuck? And keep it vague so it doesn't spoil anything for me either. We only put maybe an hour into it or so. We played it late last night. We started to get real tired. We also watched that movie The Green Knight, which I really enjoyed. We rented it from Amazon. It's definitely not a movie for everybody. There's not much action. It's much more of a kind of a dramatic, just like history, Arthurian story. I don't know, but I really dug it. But I think a lot of people are going to find it's kind of slow. So, if you want, and I don't know if it's even the right thing to do, Phantasma, but one thing I can kind of give you a hint with without spoiling too much is in the bedroom, there's a light switch. Experiment with a light switch. All I could tell you without spoiling anything. Oh, there's a globe here. Did your friend like it, Raiden?
That globe. There's a sense of loneliness coming from it.
There's no globe in the spirit world.
Incomplete.
A sense of loneliness. So, without spoiling anything, keep experimenting with it. You're going to find certain things that thing can do, and it doesn't only happen to you. Oh, he did enjoy it. Nice. Yeah, I definitely recommend it. It's kind of expensive to rent that movie right now. It's like $20. But if you'd rather not go to the theater to see it, that's a good way to check it out. And I thought it was pretty sweet. It looks like there's something to interact with right here in the spirit world, but it doesn't let me. I feel like I need to get past these vines. Yeah, that'll work out well. Also, there's pills in the bathroom. You got to experiment with those as well. Those two things got me a lot farther in the game, I think. But I also don't know if I'm doing the right thing at all. I might be totally off base. I feel like I'm missing something in here. Okay, we do need an item. I only have a razor blade right now. Nice. Okay, good. I think you're making progress. Another big thing is, like, sometimes you just have to talk with people to get more information, and then you can use the new information to help with other conversations. Often I forget to do that in these games. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm missing. Can I combine? How do I get to my inventory? There we go. I say, can I combine these items? I have these two right here. There we go. Okay, so we're probably only missing one more piece of that puzzle. I don't think we have anything else that would contain. We don't have a piano yet. No, there might be one in a room nearby, though. We don't have any way to open up this door yet. What's interesting is we don't even need the mirror right now because we're in both realities at the same time. You know, I haven't really explored much of the center of the room. I wonder if there's another note piece around here. Musical notes, where are you? It's hard focusing on both the top and the bottom at the same time. You know, it still tells me I can look at this picture over here, and I don't know why. I thought I was done with it. Did I forget to focus on it?
Gather round, children. I want you to meet Lilianne.
No, I did that.
Gather.
I think I'm done with that. Unless there was something else in this area to look at. I don't see anything. What if you need to be in one? Be in a piano? How do you be in a piano? I can backtrack a little bit. Did I miss something back here? Oh, to just be in a single reality? I don't know if we can even do that right now. Yeah, see, this is backtracking completely out of this area. I don't think we need to do that. There's definitely some item that I just ran right past. I'm sure of it. I don't have any charge with my special abilities, so I can't get past all those butterflies yet. Now, where did you see a mirror? Was that in this room? I don't even remember seeing a reel. The piano was the friends we made along the way. Therapy would love that so much. It's great finding new pianos in games just to send Therapy another picture for her collection. Yeah, see, this is weirding me out. There's something right there, but I can't focus on it. You guys see on the bottom, there's like a little white dot that tells me I can like interact with this. But it doesn't let me. I feel like I need to get rid of those vines first, and then we can do that. Oh, that was previously, not in this room, right, Phantasma? I do remember a while back we saw a mirror that caught you off guard. Yeah, see, if I try to go this way, these things are just going to kill me, right? Oh, yeah. Get the hell out of there. Oh. Now it's letting me do this again. I don't know when it can turn on and turn off, but now I can use the spirit world just to go by here. Okay, that was my fault. I didn't realize it gave me that ability now. I think that's the same thing we found before that had the two names on it, isn't it? Well, sweet. I bet we put that on the globe, perhaps. Okay, we gotta hurry because we have limited time doing this, I think. What am I looking at? It looks like there's something here, but I can't even tell what this is. This is a tub? What is this? I can't seem to interact. I can't seem to use any items. I don't know what that is. That might be it, Phantasma. Maybe we can only do that when it's split screen. It's been so long since I had split screen, I kind of forgot about using that. Our legs are starting to fade. Let's go back. Okay, so I'm going to try to use that thing we just found on the globe and see if that helps. It's kind of both. It was an item in the real world and the spirit world. It just looks different. There we go. Yeah, it looked like that fits. So now... Oh, it looks like it's going to be a face. Oops. How does this thing work? We're getting close. It's just the nose I'm having a problem with. I don't know how I know if it goes up or down. Oh, we're close. Hey, we got it. That's cool.
Another junction.
Oh, it's all rotating.
Maybe it can show me a way out of here.
Oh, I don't know if there was a memory. I don't think so. There's more. Oh. I can move this whole thing, though, anytime I want. This is pretty neat. Okay, is there something in this back room? It looks like there is. Hey, another picture. Look at the size of that dude's hand. Just holding that little kid, taking it away from his friend. And the picture's called Taken Away. Oh, I did try to use my ability to find a clue, like a hidden clue in the tub. I didn't see anything. I think maybe we'll have to put something in the tub later. Okay, let's put the exit right there. Now we should be able to go through this doorway. Sweet. You know, every once in a while I walk into what I think is an invisible wall, but it's not. It's just because there's something in the other reality blocking us. You're right. Let's get the hell out of here. I'll check that tub again if we have to go back there. But I don't think I saw anything. It was weird. Oh, here's the piano. Let me go ahead and take a screenshot real quick. There we go. See if this works. Usually I just use print screen to get a picture of the piano. Got it. Okay, sweet. Yes, I think they're all memories, is what we're uncovering when we find that little white spot that kind of is bright and then they start talking. Poor ghost. Oh, no worries, Disney. Welcome back. Did you get your chocolate? I hope you got your chocolate. Oh, we don't have the full piece of paper, though. We do need to find one more missing link, I think. What kind of chocolate did you have, by the way? I was pretty bad. I had some chocolate last night. I had a few peanut M&Ms, a Reese's peanut butter cup. It was good stuff. I had got it for Andy, and then she had pretty much eaten all that she wanted, so I just finished it off. What is this? Oh, another memory to put together. Got it.
I love this melody. It reminds me of my childhood. At least the good parts of it.
But the bad parts, they're always there, aren't they?
Yeah.
You're a very smart girl, Lily. You know that, don't you? You're special.
Her voice, is that
Fatality.
sadness?
Oh, no. Perfect timing with that. You did get the chocolate, and it's called Galaxy. I've never heard of Galaxy chocolate. Is it some kind of candy bar? Does it have nuts or something in it? What is Galaxy? It's 100 degrees outside, Texan. You just heard lightning barely out of the corner of your hearing, and then the power went out. Oh no, are you watching on your phone or something now? That sucks, dude. I hate losing my power, especially, holy crap, if it's 100 degrees outside, now you can't have air conditioning. That's not safe, dude. Hope that you guys are okay and your power comes back quickly. And Raiden, you personally would use the ghost shrine to go through the moth. There's an idea. It is the best chocolate on earth. I'll have to look it up. I'm not sure if we can get it here. You're in the UK. Is that what you said, Disney? Okay, there's another thing to cut through, but there's something right here, too. A key.
Aha.
Looks like it says room number 7. Not sure what that is. Is it a milk chocolate or a dark chocolate? Or white chocolate? Which, I thought I heard that, like, white chocolate isn't actually chocolate. I guess by the strictest definition. Okay, let's go ahead and cut this. Get ready for your favorite ASMR. Oh, it's so ridiculous. There we go. It is milk chocolate. I'm more of a dark chocolate person. Andy, my wife, she's more of a milk chocolate. It is profane, 100%. They definitely did that on purpose. So we just did like a whole 360 around here. Well, let's check out that tub again, just to make sure I wasn't missing anything. Maybe there's a piece of that music over here. Okay, it's right here. We're looking at this. I see something glowing right there. But Nothing's highlighting to let me click on it. But it definitely looks like there's something there. Maybe we need to get through here in the real world and we can actually stick our hand in that water or whatever and grab it. Oh, maybe it is another one of those align the bits. But usually the screen changes when we do that, doesn't it? Like it's not like starting that process where I have to rotate the analog stick to line everything up. It looks like it would be like right here in the middle of the room. And we can get another memory, but I'm not sure. Oh, does that only happen in real life? So yeah, we have to find a way through this door. We still... Oh wait, we have a key now. I forgot we just got a key. That's right. Ta-da! Now we can do it. Now we can do it. So milk chocolate is just a little too sweet, but again, this is coming from a person who doesn't have sweets as much as the common person. I like sweets too much. I gotta purposely limit myself because I definitely have a sweet tooth. What is this? Is this a scalpel? Oh, it's a pen. Oh, I bet there's a clue on here. There it is.
Come on, Richard. You were always there when I needed you. Let me return the favor.
I don't know, Thomas. What about my work? The university?
Richard, I know they kicked you out. I'm guessing you finally managed to piss off the right people.
No!
Stay with us, old friend. Do it for me.
That was great.
For them.
So he brought him here. Wonder who he meant by them.
Just when he was about to say, oh, you pissed off the wrong people, then the sound effect happened. No! Probably the kids, yeah. Yeah, you were 2 steps ahead the whole time, Phantasma. And Disney, you think your parents are going to go book Florida soon? You mean Disney World? But we can't book it more than 11 months in advance, which sucks. That's going to be a fun trip. You know, Andy and I were talking about wanting to go for her birthday in November. But I don't know if we're going to because, man, the climate with everything going on right now is just so bad. Florida especially. They just, like, I think they account for, like, I don't know, 20 or 30% of the COVID cases right now with this new Delta variant. It is ridiculous. I think Andy would want to stay at the animal resort where you have the view of all the animals if we could go there. But with the numbers right now, I know I'm scared that like the whole thing might just shut down again. So we're biding our time, but we might pick it up. Now we can line this up. Here we go.
So that's how you found him?
Yes. He was just lying there. He,
Mr. Reckowich?
I'm sorry. He was a friend. I just need a moment.
That's not true, Thomas. You thought he deserved it.
He's faking it. I've never been to Disney World before. I'm in California, and we've been to Disneyland many times. Like, on my own, I had been to Disneyland twice, but since meeting my wife, we've gone just about every single year, except for 2020, since we've been together. So yeah, we've been there 7, 8 times together. It's a lot of fun, but I know Disney World is a lot bigger, has more stuff. So they're also rationing water in Florida because the oxygen needed to purify the water is going to hospitals instead, and they're not even at their peak. Oh, it's getting bad. It's getting bad. And apparently someone just released a bot to deal with the hate raids, and it's called Smashbot. That's fantastic. I love that. I'm curious how it works, but if you can like add it as like a mod to your channel or something, and it just immediately blocks everybody that tries to be part of a hate raid, that's fantastic. So the ghost connections can be done in the real world, but can only be processed by the ghost realm. Yeah, it seems like you got to meld the two together. And it's not until August of next year, so it might be better. That's true. See, for my timing, November, it just seems like it's ramping up and getting worse. But hopefully by then, things will be doing much, much better. It's so far out, August. Once he got engaged, he grew apart for a while. Now that I think of it, I guess I was jealous. I no longer had him all for myself. In time, I warmed up to her as well. She was striking, both in her beauty and intellect. Eventually, I accepted the fact that he found true happiness, true love, strong and pure. Well, as pure as it could be, I guess. In any case, I was no longer needed. When the project came along, the one that would eventually be known as Niwa, I pulled all my strings to get him what he wanted. Even though I knew it would drive him on an even bigger wedge between us, I wanted the best for him. He was the closest to a son that I'd ever had. Let's see. They actually just changed it, Disney. It used to be called like Mickey's Speedway or something like that. Rock and Roller Coaster? I forget the name. But now it's like Incredibles. I think it's called the Incredicoaster, and they changed the theme of it. So it no longer has the big... Well, I guess it still has like the Mickey-style head loop, but that's not exactly what the whole theme's themed about now. It used to be just Mickey's whatever, but now it's more Incredibles themed. And Max, a random lurker, getting banned because the channel he watched did a hate raid. That would suck, Max. Yeah, that's true. It's kind of scary to give that much power to a bot as well. But, if anything, it's cool to see people trying to fight it, you know? Oh, the Ferris wheel. You know, I've never been on the Ferris wheel. My wife hates Ferris wheels. She loves roller coasters, doesn't like Ferris wheels. So I've actually never been on it. But yeah, that thing is huge. It's pretty cool. So it adds a bot to your channel that automatically blocks bot accounts, spammers, and completely blocks out accounts you banned, imports block lists, and gives the ability to restrict chat with additional features. I'll have to check that out. That might be really useful, especially if we have to start dealing with that. We've been very lucky on this stream, not dealing with much of that crap, though. Recommendations for horror puzzle games. Well, I'd say it's a puzzle game. Have you ever played the Little Nightmares games, Raiden? I really like those games. I've never streamed one, but they're super fun.
That should be all the pieces of the score now.
There we go. Okay, let's combine these. Boom. And now let's go put this on the piano. Yes, I think Little Nightmares makes a really cool horror but puzzle game. It's like a side-scrolling game, but it's mostly puzzle-based, but really creepy. It's got some cool creature designs. Highly recommend those. Yeah, I'm surprised Twitch hasn't done... Well, I guess I'm not surprised Twitch hasn't done more, but I hope Twitch starts to do more to help with all these hate raids going on. It's just ridiculous. Oh, for sure, Raiden. Yeah, we'll let you know. So, did you go on the Rock and Roller Coaster when you went? If you did, what was it like? Because I might go and I'm a bit nervous. It's probably the most exciting ride at Disneyland. There's also a drop ride. In Florida, it's Tower of Terror. It used to be in California, but now it's called... oh crap, can I get through here? Oh, I think I have to go the other way. I blocked it off, that's right. It was Tower of Terror. Now it is Guardians of the Galaxy, that's right. So those are the two most exciting rides at Disneyland as far as like thrills. And they're nothing like some of the big thrill rides you find at some other theme parks. I think you'll be fine, but it's super fun. It's pretty fast. Mission Breakout. We didn't have that in California. I don't think. I'm not sure what that one is. Oh, I can actually absorb power right here.
The spark's too weak to absorb.
Oh no, we have to complete this.
Missing something.
It's missing the music notes. There we go. Now we can absorb power. And now we can finally get through those mods. You know, the new ride at Star Wars, can't think of what it's called right now. Rise of the Resistance, maybe? It was one of the coolest rides I've been on, bar none for anything. And I think it's Andy's new favorite ride at Disneyland, which is saying a lot because we're not like huge Star Wars fanatics. They're fun, we watch the movies, but we're not like super hardcore. So for that to be like her new favorite ride means it's pretty cool. Okay, I don't remember the controls. Let me look up which button that was. Right bumper, okay. So we are gonna have to use the right bumper and then run through here. Oh, part of the Guardians of the Galaxy ride title. Okay, yes, that must have been it then. Yeah, I forgot the subtitle. There's our shield. Let's go. I don't know which way you want me to go. I'll go right. There we go. Oh, that wasn't too bad. My controller's vibrating. I don't know what's going on. I still have... Oh my gosh, look how... Holy choppy, Batman. Look how much this is killing my frame rate. I should probably go in the graphics and turn something down. I don't know what's killing it, but... I'm doing something beyond the abilities of my computer. Speaking of which, I should be getting a new video card next week I'm super stoked about. And maybe I won't have to turn down these graphics settings as much when playing. I have ray tracing off. It could be the Panini support. I don't know. Let's go to advanced. Honestly, those going upside down on roller coasters never bothered me. I always think that's pretty fun because it's going so fast you just get pressed into the seat. The scariest things on roller coasters are the big drops or when you go up and then down again immediately, because then your body lifts out of the seat a little bit. Your stomach goes into your chest. It's a cool feeling. Oh, that might just be the game elegant then. I've only noticed it when it's split screen. It runs a lot slower when it's split screen because it's rendering the game twice, I suppose. But yeah, the Paninis, it reduces distortion for ultra-wide resolutions. I'm not even using ultra-wide. I should just have that off. So if I had to guess which of these is probably the most taxing... Shadows can be a big one. Let's just try a couple things to see if one of these just fixes our problem really quick. How are you doing, Elegant? It's good to see you. Actually, yeah. That did seem to help quite a bit. It's not, like, super smooth. Oh, it's just... The scene was running really choppy right in, so I was trying to fix that. We did get through the mods after doing that piano thing right in. The Paninis broke us. Yes, if I go back to high-quality shadows... no, now it looks about the same. It's actually just running smoother normally. I don't know, when I first walked onto the scene, it was like really choppy. We'll just kind of leave it as is. You slept all day since there's bad thunderstorms and you couldn't do much. We don't have to deal with that here in California, but I guess you always have to worry about like your power going out and stuff like that. That sucks. Hopefully you guys are all safe, no damages or anything. Was there a hand in the window? I missed that. Let me go back here. Let's see, where do we see a hand? I don't see it. It looks like there's something over here, though. Like a creepy doll. Yeah, there's a creepy doll right here. Has your guys' house ever been struck, or your property, with lightning? That would suck. In the spirit world, and it's huge. Let me go back over here. Oh, in the background behind the glass. Okay, I was looking for something up close. Yeah, that looks like a huge arm kind of doing this. That is super creepy. I loved the doll scene in Resident Evil 8. That was one of my favorite parts about that game. Even though there was really no combat, that was like the scariest portion of the game, especially when you first run into that giant fetus creature thing. What is this? Oh, some more memories to put together.
Uncle Richard,
Fantastic.
my arms are getting tired. You've been drawing me for hours.
Almost done. You know, Lily, you remind me of someone. A girl I knew when I was very young.
Did you love her?
Yes. With a young, innocent love, free of the ferocity of adult lives.
Richard. I'm getting a weird vibe from him.
Yeah, I don't like where that's going.
Grief, sorrow, and something else.
Just hope that doesn't get too gross. So at another house, Elegant, you had a huge lone pine tree that got stuck with a lightning rod. Oh, like a lightning rod. Probably caught fire and stuff. That would be terrifying. And yes, Max, that baby was super creepy in Resident Evil 8. Make sure there's nothing else over there. Oh, we can follow these, like, little spirits, though. They're leading us over this way. Looks like... Oh, now we can interact with the creepy doll. Resident Evil 8 style. There we go.
Aren't you a bit old to be playing with dolls? Here. I bought it especially for you.
Oh, a ribbon? It's beautiful. Thank you, Uncle Richard.
Here, let me... on the other hand, why don't you do it yourself?
What was that? It's like something stirred inside him.
That was weird. He just changed his tone real quick. The infamous Richard, right? Which later becomes like in a wheelchair, right? And Texan, you had a big pecan tree in your backyard, about 50, 60 foot tall, got split in half and crushed your garage because of lightning. That sucks. Asifa, oh my goodness, dude, what is going on? Hasifa, 14 months subscribed to the channel. What is up, Hasifa? It's good to see you, dude. Let me drop some tokens for you guys there. There we go. What is new? Thank you so much for the sub. 14 months already. Holy crap. Over a year. Sure doesn't feel like it's been a year. Time flies by way too fast. 14 months ago. Yeah, well, it was already the pandemic, right? We've been in this over 14 months now, I think. Dang. It was that long ago? Seriously? But that's terrifying, Texan. It actually destroyed, or almost destroyed your garage, or half destroyed it, I guess. Jeez, at least it wasn't part of your house, though. Nobody was hurt, right? Just a lot of property damage. Still, that sucks. Let's see here. What did I miss here? Ride in, and simply put, all you need to do is ride a bike down the street with a metal rod in your hand. And if you die, you are not God if you're not immortal. For legal reasons, this is a joke. Don't do this. Yes, and that's kind of funny. If you live in a place like that, you know, you might have a storm cellar. You might have lightning rods to help protect your property. We have earthquakes, but they just build the houses differently here in California to help protect from that kind of stuff. Texan, good catch. And Aether, nice job. There's another one, too. Oh, Phantasman, you got the first one. You had to totally rebuild the garage. Ugh. And you probably had all kinds of stuff in there that got destroyed, too. If it's anything like our garage, it's just mostly storage. Hopefully there wasn't a car in there at the time. Don't do that, Raiden. Don't do that. But you've never been struck? That's good. Let's keep it that way. Yeah, I don't have any clue as to where to go next. What are we missing? Oh, there's something back here. Got another note. Yes, the avatars on screen, they're definitely moving a little chunky because of how intensive this game is. It really depends on what game we're streaming. This game's kind of maxing out my computer, so it makes it a little tougher. Hopefully the new video card helps with that. I don't know if it's a CPU issue or video card issue. I think it's the video card's just maxed out. Oh, that was weird. It started scrolling on its own. I was finished. They had to let me go. Me, Richard Tarkowski, whose works were recognized across the continent, whose imagination, as they said, knew no bounds, whose very name became synonymous with fine art. All of that meant nothing to the soulless bureaucrats. To them, I was just a liability. The old, dangerous liberal ideas. I felt betrayed, empty. I needed to get out, away from the hollow sickness of the city. But most of all, I needed a friend, and so I sought him out. I knew the wife had died some months earlier. At the time, I thought it best to not interfere with his grieving, and so now I feared that he'd hold it against me for not being there when he needed me the most. Instead, he offered me a home. So this is when he first came here? see, it sends it over the edge. Oh, do you mean when you sling like that? And I think you can jump off the screen, but you will come back eventually. It just takes a second. Okay, where are we going now? That hand is so creepy. There's actually two hands. I can see another one to the left of it as well. I think we might be done here. Oh, yeah, I think it's the game. It's just using all of the resources to run the game. So the avatars, it's kind of like an afterthought in a way. Okay, crap. I have to try to force myself back through here. Ready, set, go. Run! Okay, the other end looked like it was a dead end, so I don't think I need to go that way. So, crap, what else am I missing? I'm gonna go recharge my ability real quick. Maybe I missed something back there. I don't know. I feel like I've done everything here. There is a limit, Aether. So you can see our arm is kind of like all glowing white. As we use the power, it starts to fade away. You can do it for maybe like 10 seconds or so, and then it's gone. I wonder, is there another thing we have to do over here? I don't think so. I think we unlocked everything there. Let's see. Finish this room. I already got the... Why is it letting me look at this pen again? Did I not finish this?
Come on, Richard.
Yeah, we did that.
Still...
You want to pass away, Janie? Is that injury you had still killing you? Congrats on the haircut, though. I love getting a haircut. But why do you just want to pass away? Was the experience not good? Or do you not like your haircut? It is the pain. Oh, no. And you just took your meds. I don't know if you could take it again right now or if you have to wait a while. Okay, I feel like I missed something back here. Oh, no! No, are you kidding me? I used the wrong button. I hit... That's another death. I hit left bumper instead of right bumper to use my shield. Dang it. Okay, where is this going to put me? I'm not sure where the last checkpoint was. See, the screen upped in gamma. Did it get bright for you all of a sudden? Where the hell is this? Okay, we're right outside there. I don't have my power right now. Let me check this out. I think we already have the this thing unlocked, right? Oh no, we still have to put that paper together. Oh no, I have it. Okay, good. Okay, so let's go back there. I think it pretty much saved it right before I went downstairs. Every time I take damage, it heightens the brightness. Just for a brief time, though, right? Wouldn't work very consistently. Okay, right bumper, John. There we go. And I try to turn it off as quickly as possible so I don't use all my abilities. Yeah, when I first go down here, look at this. It gets really choppy. Right there. It's super choppy. I don't know why, but the problem fixes itself eventually. It's weird. So I could probably take a little bit of damage and then let that go, right? Time to upgrade to the 3090. But yeah, the problem goes away pretty quickly. Okay, so I'm guessing I have to get to those messages again. We can just plow through them real fast, though. Yeah, there's this one. Line these up. I'll just skip through these because we already listened to them.
Uncle Rick.
Oh. And then we need to go to the doll and do that one. I think it was the case. See, now it's running okay. I think it was just still not completely loaded on my computer is the problem. Once it kind of settled, it ran fine.
Aren't you a bit old?
The only problem, Raiden, is if I screw it up, even just by like half a second or something, and I get killed, I would hate it because then I'd have to redo a bunch of stuff. Phantasma, that's terrible. That's terrible. It's really funny, but that's terrible. At least you recognize you are a monster. Okay, so after those two clues, I haven't really gained any items or anything. I'm not sure what I need to do. Yeah, I feel like I'm missing something here. I'm pretty sure they always give you enough of that, you know, special shield ability to get through all those regardless. I don't think you need to try to cheat the system that bad. At least you thought about it. You didn't just immediately delete the poor ugly kid. Oh, now there's one over here that I missed. Okay. I got it. This is what I failed to do last time. You have to do them in the right order.
No! I didn't mean to. Oh, God! What have I done?
What did you do, Richard?
It feels cold. What have you done?
I feel like he killed that kid. Why is there like a random bow here? Okay, now I'm getting a clue as to where to go. Oh! Why is that wheelchair moving? The wheelchair is moving in both realities. That's interesting. See, so what you're saying, Phantasma, is you did like a... Because it was a toddler? What would that be? Like a 20th trimester abortion or something of that poor kid? He was already born and around for a little while. And you found out what they look like as an adult? Get out of here. Abandoned wheelchairs are just creepy in games. A lot of games have used these.
I had never felt anything so desperate. It was calling out to me. It wanted to show me something.
Whoa! Wheelchair ride. I mean, you could have murdered them, right, Phantasma? You could have, like, blocked them off and made sure they couldn't get any food or water. They eventually just die. Is this Richard? What is this?
God fucking damn it!
Not sure what we're saying. Oh, they get taken away.
Idiot!
Good. I'm glad you can't kill toddlers in the game.
What would you think of me? I failed you. I failed us.
You do.
It's all falling apart. What? Yes, I know. No, I need to be sure.
Who are you talking to?
There's gotta be something around here.
Maybe he has the same ability that Marianne does.
You want what? Fuck!
I don't know if it's Thomas or Richard or what yet.
Look who finally decided to let me out of my cage.
That's creepy.
And only when you need my help. Surprise. Surprise. Okay, you know what? I'm not in the mood. Just tell me what you see. Come on. Come on. Yes. I can feel it. Okay. It's around here somewhere. Oh, well, that's real fucking specific. Hey, I'm trying to help here. Well, you know, sometimes I wonder. Well, it doesn't make it easier when you keep me in the dark for so long. Oh, Christ. Thanks for that, by the way. Hell of a way to treat your soulmate.
Soulmate.
Damn it!
Literal soulmate.
There's nothing here. There is. Really? I'm never wrong about these things. You know that. Well, screw this. I should have known better than to listen to you. Wait. What? There. There. Where? What?
I need a spirit guide when I like lose my keys or something.
This is it. Okay.
Oh, nice hiding spot.
What? You building tension? Grab the fucking thing! Would you shut up?
I love that. Is it like a hidden diary? What is this?
It's her. It's her. No. No, no, no. Page. After page. It's like he's obsessed.
Oh no.
What is he? What have I done? We couldn't have known.
I have an idea
I let him into my home.
of what's going on.
He was like a father to me. How could he do this to her? Fucking bastard! How could he? I told you we couldn't trust anyone but ourselves. Keep it together. Think. What do we do now? We wait. And when he comes back...
Uh-oh.
Oh, just... Whoa, 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 whoa. Easy, Tiger. Remember what's at stake here. Just let me do what I do.
What is it that you
do it fast? Because if you don't, I will kill him.
So I do think that is Thomas. And he's talking about how he brought Richard into this place, and Richard was obsessed with this girl and did something terrible, and he's just finding out about it. Now he's going to kill Richard. Or his spirit will.
Thomas. I wasn't expecting you.
Uh-oh.
Is everything all right, my friend?
Did you do it, friend?
Did I? What?
My daughter. My 13-year-old daughter.
It's his daughter.
I entrusted her to you.
Thomas.
Did you do it?
I don't.
I found the sketchbook. Forced myself to look through it. Cover to cover. Every single fucking page!
Oh, man.
Tell me you didn't hurt her, Richard.
Thomas, please.
Tell me I'm wrong, Richard. Tell me, and I'll let you go.
It wasn't me. Thomas, you have to understand. There's a sting inside of me.
Shut up.
You have to believe me. I wanted to die.
I'll make it quick.
Thomas, I'm so sorry.
She's my daughter!
I never wanted any of this. I should never have come here.
This is intense.
Knowing she's here. Knowing what she means to me.
Thomas, I swear I'll go away. You'll never... Wait, but you... No, let me out. Let me out.
Let me in!
Holy crap. Wait, what's going on there? Did he like try to possess him or something? I don't know what happened at the end there. I thought he was just gonna murder him, but I don't know what the hell this is. Oh, now we're Thomas in the spirit world?
This cancer has spread far enough. Time to cut it out.
He looks cool and creepy with his chest. It's like a bunch of bones and stuff. Oh, wow, we're actually changing characters. This is really cool. Free Richard from his demons. So Raiden, you say Richard is a good guy with a spirit controlling him. Thomas is the one who works with his spirit, and you are the one who controls your spirit. Thomas being the most knowing, Richard being the most powerful, and then we're just us. I didn't hear that, Disney. Congratulations. That is awesome. Yeah, I had mine back in like May or something, and now I guess I'm looking at possibly having to do another one in like December or January, whenever 8 months at. They're talking about doing booster shots potentially. Yeah, the Spirit Thomas. So interesting that we get to do him separately. We're not playing real Thomas yet, but maybe. And that inflection in his voice reminds me of Negan from Walking Dead. I remember when I first started watching Walking Dead, I loved Negan. He was a pretty cool character, real dark and scary. And then he kind of became too comical and goofy, and I didn't like it as much. But I've been keeping up with the show, and it started to turn around again.
This is your world. Show me what you're hiding.
So we're in Richard's head right now, and we're trying to get rid of the spirit that's taken over Richard, maybe? Maybe that's what's happening. So the first shot, no side effects at all, Disney. The second shot, my arm hurt just a little bit more than the first one, but it wasn't bad at all. And I was really tired the next day. That was it. Totally fine the day after that. Arm hurts a lot. Yeah, for whatever reason, the second shot hurt me more, but I think it was the way the nurse gave me the shot. I don't know why she did it that way. The first one, just kind of jabbed, done, piece of cake. The second nurse grabbed my shoulder, pinched it real hard, like bunch up the flesh, and then gave me the shot in that. And I'm not going to tell people how to do their job, but I don't know why she did it differently, and it hurt more because of that. Phantasma, give me all the shots. Give me all of them. Now, you don't need a third shot doesn't add more. It basically just kind of keeps, you safe after the returns, I guess, start to diminish off after 8 months or so. When it's not as effective, then you get that booster shot. So if you're just getting your second one, Max, you're good. And you got your second shot yesterday? Right on, Elegant. How do you feel? Are you kind of tired?
Is this where it started, Richard? The place that broke you? Made you what you are?
Looks so cool. Oh, look at that building in the background. Oh, there's that huge creepy arm. Oh, and there's like a figure right. Oh no, that's a tentacle right there. That thing get me? I don't know. So for me, I had no side effects at all from the first one right in, and the second one, I was just tired the next day. But it's different for everybody. Some people get feverish, some people get a little sick. I didn't have anything like that, just tired. Press and hold right bumper just before the hit to counterattack. Oh. That's cool. Okay, so for his shield, I don't even think he has a limit of how much he can use that. Bam! How you like that? Okay, so right before it strikes you, you break out your shield and you can hurt it. That's cool. So the place where you're getting your second shot is the same place you got your first, and it's absolutely tiny. I actually got mine at the hospital, which I thought was kind of cool. But yeah, different people get them in churches, people get them in parking lots, all kinds of stuff. Drive-through vaccination sites. Bam! How you like that? So you had a sore arm both times, and you felt it a little bit warm yesterday, and the second lady gave me the shot in like half a second, super fast book. I wish my second one was super fast. It took a long time, and she bunched up my flesh. Oh yeah, there's that other big arm real close to me. Oh yeah, and on the side too. I didn't notice those. Also, for everybody getting shots, which one did you guys get? I got the Pfizer personally, but it seems like Moderna is another really popular one. And people in different countries, you might even have a completely different shot that I'm not even familiar with.
The day when she came to it, it took over, made itself at home.
Pfizer. That seems like that's the most common by far. And they aren't doing anything else after the AZ debacle. Oh man, what was it? Johnson & Johnson? That one had all kinds of... I think that still the side effects were minimal, but they were enough to cause a controversy where they had to pull it off for a little bit and figure out what was going on. That, of course, makes everybody much more scared to get a shot, which I understand.
Loss. Hatred. Grief. This place reeks of them. Something terrible happened here. It changed Richard forever. No! What the hell?
So we're going to find out what happened in Richard's past, I think. This is cool.
This is it. Richard's big, ugly secret. The sum of all his demons.
And honestly, like when you're reading about vaccines and stuff, and not to get into this too much, but like, you know, there's going to be breakthrough cases if you're vaccinated and you're around a bunch of people that are sick. There's a potential you can get it as well. But the biggest boon to getting the vaccine is that you normally don't need to be hospitalized. And that's really important because you know, as the hospitals fill up, as the virus kind of surges and builds up, you don't want to not have a ventilator available. You don't want there to not be any beds at the hospital so people can take care of you. So having that extra bit of thing that just makes it so you don't have to go to the hospital, you're just sick at home for a few days or a week, that makes a huge difference. It sucks that you can get sick at all, but it's better that, you know, not only for yourself, but you got to think about if everybody's at the hospital and somebody gets shot or something like that, now they can't give that person the same kind of treatment they normally would because there's just a bunch of sick people taking up every bed. So it is still very important. Sweet, we got the father's knife. But that's probably going to be more of a story thing, not like a defensive thing. Really, Phantasma. I didn't know they bump you up if you are vaccinated. You would think with less severe side effects, you would actually be lower on the critical list, I guess.
Richard, your father forgot his knife. You'd better go and bring it to him.
All right, I'll play along. For now.
So we're playing as Richard in a way. they're talking to us like we have to do it. Oh, that's a cool idea, Disney. That would be really nice. I'm sure they would really appreciate that. Oh, that's so scary, Phantasma. And it's somebody that's young, too, you know? It's something... When this... Oh, that's creepy. Look at all these tentacles. When this was originally becoming a thing, it was mostly elderly people that really had to worry, and young people, not so much. But with these new variants and stuff, it seems to be hitting everybody, even children, much more efficiently, which is terrifying. What is the deal with this? I can't actually interact with that. And Kubi, what is up? Kubi, welcome. Good that you could join us. Happy Saturday. That's funny, right? And there are some games that do definitely force you to kill people, though. 100%.
Father, you forgot your knife.
Oh, thank you, Richard. You know what? Why don't you keep it?
Ooh.
But it's your lucky knife.
And now it's yours. You'll need it. I'm leaving tomorrow.
What? No!
So Richard's father had to take off and let him keep his knife. Okay. Whoa! Cool. I'm just like casually walking up to the door.
The army is heading out west, and I'll be going with them.
But no, I don't want you to go.
I don't think it, I don't know if it is Kubi, but people have been saying they've been seeing Polish stuff. I don't know if it's a Polish developed game or if they just set the game in Poland. I'm not sure. The company's name is Bloober Studios, I think, or Bloober Team.
I don't want to go either, son. But sometimes what we want isn't what's important. Do you understand?
When will you come back?
Take care of your mother, Richard. You're the man of the house now.
He doesn't even answer. When are you coming back? Let me just change the subject. Oh, now we can actually get to the door. That makes a lot of sense, Max. You definitely want to get more people on at least the first vaccine than give other people a second. Although here in the US, we have a different problem of we've had more than enough vaccines for everyone to get it immediately. And there's hesitancy, so people just don't do it. So they sit around, they go bad, or we have to ship them elsewhere. Ooh, Janie. Let's start with the bad news. I always like to start things, or end things on a good note. So let's do the bad news first. Yes, exactly, Phantasma. You hate to hear that. Oh, and you're not going on the tour tomorrow? But the good news is it is because you rescheduled it for next week. There you go. It's still happening. But that's good, Janie, because I know you weren't feeling too great right now. Good to delay it until it's a better time for you, too. This is a nice looking office. I want a fireplace in my office. How cozy would that be during streams?
By the sweat of your brow.
And nothing special on this thing. It looks like there's something in here. Here we go. Oh, thank you for the lurk, Raiden. We'll talk to you later. I've also heard of people like settling for some kind of concoction of vitamins and stuff. I forget what it's called, but to help you if you do get infected and you're in critical condition in the hospital, to help you get better quicker, which is great that that exists, but that's not like better than, you know, keeping it from happening in the first place sort of thing. I don't know. It seems like backwards thinking to me. It's like, well, when the problem does happen, at least we have this. It's like, well, let's prevent the problem from happening in the first place. Quit taking up room in the hospital when you don't need to.
You shall rise and you shall fall.
A nice drawing. Oh, because yeah, this is Richard who sketches people, right? Or Richard's dad. I could see that, Disney. I loved Until Dawn. I've never streamed it. I've played it, but I'd like to stream it sometime. It's been many years since I played it.
Those tentacles are guarding something. We need to get rid of them.
Okay, what can we do to these tentacles? Oh, that's terrible, Max. At least let them. I mean, of course, the parents should be able to stop that and do whatever they want with their kids, but man, that's terrifying. The thing that's the most scary is some people, like, they've had, you know, after recovering from COVID, they're not the same. Like, you know, right now I feel like I have no problems breathing or anything. I have pretty healthy lungs. But after you recover and you're good and testing negative, sometimes they say that your lung capacity and everything is not what it used to be. Now you went from being like a healthy 20, 30-year-old to like, it seems like you've been smoking for 40 years. Like, that's not worth the risk.
Till you return to the earth from which you came.
He is a military guy. Okay, no clues there. What is that? Oh, I guess that'd be Polish, I suppose. Oh, Max, that's ridiculous. Those parents must have been so pissed.
For dust you are, and to dust you will return.
Something about pictures with like scratched out faces is creepy. Is that the Templar symbol? Oh no. Oh, the fire just died. Oh, there's something here. Like a letter. Oh, we needed the knife to open it. Okay. That was weird. It sounded like it was behind me. As government representatives of the Polish Republic, I wish to offer my deepest sympathy and regret in regards to the passing of Lieutenant Thaddeus Tarkowski. Is that our dad, maybe? He whose loss you mourn died in the noblest of causes. His country will be forever grateful for his sacrifices he made protecting our freedom and independence. Ministry of Military Affairs. Yeah, I don't think that helped the family sleep at night, unfortunately. Let's see. And yeah, weird issues with taste and smell, which sucks. I mean, if I couldn't taste food at all, man, that would just take all the joy out of eating. That would suck. Oh no, your PC's not working right, and that sucks. What happened? Everything smells like rancid meat. Oh, God, that's awful. And then she lost 80 pounds in 4 months. That's terrifying, especially if you don't want to lose weight. You can't help it. And they have to do a feeding tube? Oh, no, thank you. You just closed the game. Oh, so it was working, but you closed a game, and that caused it to go crazy? So you went to a bookstore for your birthday and called Waterstones, and it had 5 floors. You know, Disney, I went to Japan for my honeymoon, and every shopping place was like 10 stories tall. It was crazy, because they don't have much room in Japan. You know, you don't have like large department stores. All their malls and things are very vertical with like small little floors, and there's like 5 or 6 shops, and then you go up an escalator and there's another 5 or 6 shops. It was really weird. Kind of cool, but just different. It doesn't look like there's anything else here.
Grief. Anger.
There we go.
I can work with that.
But I'm guessing it was 5 floors and it was all really big. Oh, sweet. So we just powered up his ability. I'm guessing we can use that to destroy these vines. Boom. Oh, that is cool. I saw a really big picture there. And... what? Are we in that picture? This is really pretty looking. This is like a different game. I mean, except for our creepy dead protagonist, but like this looks kind of like Plague Tale or something.
Okay then.
He's just as confused as we are. Let's see. They said the neurons didn't connect right in her brain, and they reconnected them after she recovered from COVID, so she literally cannot eat anything because it tastes rotten. Oh. And they also said she may get better with some sensory therapy, but they really don't know. Oh, that is terrifying, Phantasma. So Waterstones is pretty much the biggest bookstore chain these days in the UK. We have Barnes & Nobles. I think that's our biggest one. Let's see, and it sounds a bit insensitive, but you feel like people who shout 99% survival rate should get it. It sucks so much that people who do care about their health and others have to suffer from it anyway. that's the worst part is like, one thing that drives me crazy is the idea of masks and like protecting yourself. That's not the point. Like the masks, wearing a mask doesn't really protect you from it, hardly at all. What it does do is it protects other people because you can't breathe out of the mask very easily. You don't spread it through the air as easily when you wear a mask. So if everybody wears masks, then everybody's a lot safer from it. But if like just the people that, you know, if half the people want to wear masks, then those people wearing the masks are the most likely to catch it. It sucks. I haven't read in quite a long time Disney. I used to read more, but I just haven't had time lately. But I love Stephen King. I've read a number of different books, especially like properties that I'm interested in through movies or TV. I go back and read the books.
Hey, Richard.
But it's a funny test. Like if you try to like light a match or something and then try to blow it out while you're wearing a mask, you find out how much it actually blocks.
You can't catch me.
Who is this talking to Richard?
Hey, wait up.
Like in a maze. This is a pretty cool looking raid. I'm not on Goodreads. No, what is that? Is that like where you recommend books or something like that? There's a bench over here. Oh, this must be who we're talking to.
Come on, Richard. My arms are getting tired.
Hey, we heard that
Almost
before.
done.
Oh yeah, that's when he likes to draw people taking poses. But then really creepy things happen. Yeah, there are some masks, Phantasma, the real thick, heavy-duty, you know, medical kind that will protect you, actually, but also the cheap disposable ones, if we all wore them, it would just generally be a lot safer. And I noticed that too. Like we have some N95 masks I use for painting and stuff. They are a little bit tougher to breathe in, for sure. I wouldn't want to run a marathon in them. But if I wear just like the disposable masks, which are good if everybody wore them, I could breathe fine. I don't know. Maybe there's like a very, very, very small bit of population that actually has respiratory issues going into it, and they would have a hard time breathing. That's fine. But the vast majority of people, I think, are just kind of not wanting to wear masks. Not like a legitimate reason. Oh, there's reviews on Goodreads. So that's how you find like book recommendations, I guess. Okay. So what mask makes it hard to breathe? I've seen some, oh, they're like the N95 masks, where it's like a real thick foam. It's got a good seal around your face. But that's more for like you're in a hazardous area, you know? Like if I went into a place where I was doing a lot of painting or something and the actual air is toxic, it makes it tougher to breathe, but it actually protects you, you know? But the other ones, it helps you spreading it to other people, which is most important right now.
Here. I'll try to bring more tomorrow. Thank you, Richard. I can't tell you how much this means to me.
Try to bring more. Are we helping taking care of like this kid? What is this? Oh, that's cool. You can update the progress in the books you're reading. I like that. I need the same thing, but just for video games. That's what I mean, Steam does a pretty good job of keeping track of how many hours you put into games, how many achievements you have, things like that. I feel like I'm getting lost here. Oh, another piece. Yeah, if you had like a gas mask, 100%, you could be around a bunch of infected people and probably be fine. But we're not wearing those things around.
But what is it? It's something very important. Promise me you'll keep it safe.
And also, like a real gas mask, you need like a source of oxygen to help you breathe, and those are limited. Of course, you'd have to get them refilled.
This way, silly.
Well, I guess it depends on the type of gas masks we're talking about, but I've seen some gas masks that like you know, you strap it all over your head. It makes a complete seal where if you didn't do anything else, you would die. Like you have no oxygen. But then you actually turn on oxygen to breathe in this thing. You'd be pretty safe in that. And I guess you can breathe easy, but you also can't see very well because it's covering your entire head and it can fog up and stuff too. So that kind of becomes an issue.
Where'd you go?
Okay, now I feel like I'm running in circles. Did I go this way? I feel like I did. Oh, no, there's something here. No, I saw that. Okay. I think that's a dead end. Just walk around to the fully contained scuba set. It's almost like that, Hasifa, honestly. And I think, right, and those are pretty much just filters, like you'd have in a normal N95 mask.
Rose?
It just
Rose?
covers your eyes and everything, too.
Over here.
Okay, now I think we're going the right way.
There you are. I was afraid you'd get lost in there.
Finally, I was running circles.
I've been waiting here for ages. I was starting to get bored waiting for you. Hey.
This place is so cool looking. I love it.
Hey.
Whoa.
You see that? A storm's coming.
That was cool.
It's a big one. We should probably go. Same spot tomorrow?
Speaking of thunder.
Be there.
Those poor folks that have to deal with, thunderstorms all the time. That might be triggering.
Cute, Richard. Real cute. So, where do we go from here?
Georgie was in the corner of my eye chewing. Had to tell him, stop it. Grab a metal rod, quick. Let's see, and a friend who works at a hospital does have a respirator N95, which is basically a gas mask, and she prefers the regular N95 masks that people could just wear normally. And she wears it into the patient's room and then immediately removed it and put on a regular N95. Just harder to breathe, I'm guessing. So that was crazy. We were finding out about Rich. Oh, God, now there's a casket here. This was not here before. What the heck? I can't actually interact with it. But I am very glad to hear you guys getting vaccines and stuff, trying to be as safe as possible. Yeah, we basically went into the painting. It's pretty awesome, but I think we might be done here. So did that little girl die? Is that representative of her casket? Oh, now maybe we can use our ability to blast through those tentacles over here.
I can feel something's not right.
No, we don't have our power yet. Can we go upstairs?
Mom, who is he?
He's someone who can take care of us.
But I can take care of you. I promised Dad I'd protect you.
I know.
It could be Cthulhu.
And he would be so proud of you. But sometimes, a brave heart is just not enough.
Yeah, we haven't been up here yet.
Hey, come here. I need you to do something for me.
Uh-oh. I don't like the sound of that. Is that our dad talking to us? I can't interact with anything in here.
I said, come here.
I don't know where you are. Come where? Oh, the chair.
I
Here
need
we
you
go.
to bring me that thing. You know which one.
Oh no.
Specific.
Alright, sounds like this kid's gonna get beat. See a belt right there? I don't have anything right now. What is going on? That sounds like a terrible name for a movie or a video game or something. A belt, a chair, and a tentacle. Hell, there's probably already a game on Steam called that. Oh, here's one book we can grab. This looks kind of like the Necronomicon from Evil Dead. Just needs a little bit more of a face. So we have to combine this with something. Can't read it. Okay. Yeah, true love story. Make it even better.
Hurry up! I need it.
Is this what you needed? You needed the book?
Oh, what? You want a bedtime story? I'm not your goddamn mother.
Is this still Richard talking? Or is this Richard's dad? This may be Richard's dad. Relentless. Always so on point with that. I love it. If it's blood, tentacles, and scratch marks, I'm following it. Yuppie Psycho. Which is also a game you requested. That's great. Okay, so the book wasn't it. What other object might we need to put there? Oh, it looks like there's something on the table we can grab. He probably wants the booze, but I kind of want to try the picture first.
Taking so long. Useless. Just like his mother.
Like, I'm sure he wants the booze, but...
Why the hell would I want that?
Let's piss it off.
Miss your daddy. Well, he ain't here.
Oh.
Real fucking charmer, that one.
Is this stepdad? What is this? Cherry Cordial founder? Made in Poland. I don't know what kind of alcohol this is. Is it a whiskey or something? I mean, Phantasma, really we're on the main over arc of finding Thomas and helping him, because he gave us a call to come here. And now we're playing as Thomas, or Thomas's spirit.
Oh, you little shit. I'll teach you some respect.
Oh, I failed that one. Hold on, let me try to kill this thing. It's gonna try to hit me again. How you like that?
What the hell did you do to me?
Stay back, or I'll cut you again.
Ungrateful little fuck. Get the hell away from me.
So it sounds like
Gladly.
Richard as a child is like fighting back against an abusive stepfather, maybe? That's kind of what I'm getting. And as Thomas right now, we're trying to help this guy Richard out, brought him into our home. It seems like he abused, maybe even killed our daughter. And now as Thomas, we've gone into Richard's psyche and we're trying to find out what's wrong with him. Why did he do this? Oh, we got that power again. I could see that, like Inception. Such a good movie. Ethan Winters. Oh, I love that game. Oh, both those games. Resident Evil 7 and 8.
Get away from me, you bastard! No! No! No!
Okay, we have to destroy all these tentacles.
Hold on, Mommy!
If you time it just right, they can't hurt you, and they actually kill themselves. Damn, nice. Oh, I didn't do it quick enough that time. There we go. If you hold your shield out before they attack you, it doesn't help. You have to do it right before they hit you. I'm curious what they're even going to do with Resident Evil 9. With new characters, new place. Like, is it going to be first person again? It seems like they're sticking with that. I'm kind of bummed that Resident Evil 8 didn't have VR, though. I still hope they add that feature in. It was great in 7. So Marianne became Thomas, and Thomas is now walking around Richard's psyche. I'm not sure what happened with Marianne. I feel like we got to a certain point in the story, and it just... Oh, crap. Just switched over to Thomas. We gotta get in there. here's another painting we have to get into.
Can't protect anyone. He's gone.
They might start remastering. I heard they're going to remaster 4. Oh, and Jen, I did not watch the Resident Evil animated series. How was it? Did you watch it? I wasn't a big fan of the live-action movies. The first one I thought was okay, and they kind of went off the rails after that. It was very different from the games. Not bad at all. I'll check it out. That would be cool. I've always loved Resident Evil cutscenes. That's basically what you're watching, is an entire cutscene turned into a movie. Alright, let's blast our way into here. Boom. A new painting. Was it short? That's a selling point for me. I love short stuff. I just don't have a ton of free time.
Again, but not the same time.
Oh no, are we back in the maze? I did hear they were remastering Last of Us. Well, I don't know if Naughty Dog is doing it, Phantasma. They might be paying another group to do it. I'm not sure. But that does not seem necessary. I thought Last of Us on PS4 and I guess also PS5 still looks great. To me, that kind of seems like a waste of resources when they could be making a brand new game. Heck, make a Jak and Daxter game. That probably wouldn't be as expensive as making another huge Last of Us type of game.
I should be going. I'm sorry. It's alright, Rose. We can finish some other time.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I guess the PS4 version was a remaster where they just kind of upped the textures and frame rate and stuff. I think they want to do like an entire remake, which is having to redo all the graphics and the new engine and everything. So it's a lot more work, but I just don't think it's necessary. But I love Last of Us. I'd probably buy it again too, 100%.
Richard, where are you?
Yes, Max. I would love to see Jak and Daxter come back. Those games are fun. It's funny I played Jak and Daxter, but never Crash Bandicoot as a kid.
Hello?
Or Ratchet and Clank. I still never played that. Oh, there was something back here. Oh, it was only like 10 episodes? That's not too bad. And that's the entire series and then it's done, right?
Richard, come out!
Never played them, Nate. I might have rented one back in the day, just kind of like Destroy All Humans. Like, maybe I played like 10 minutes of it, but I don't really count that. I haven't had like any significant experience with the game. Maybe I'll start with the new PS5 game. I heard it's great. It looks gorgeous. Oh, here's something. Here's more bread that he's feeding the kid. I did play Resident Evil 2, the original and the remaster. I actually streamed both of them.
I'm sorry. That's all I could bring. That's all right, Richard. It's more than enough.
It's cool that Richard seems to be taking care of this kid out here. Stray, that's the one where you play the cat? That looks pretty cool. I did not. The Black Myth Wukong. What kind of game is that? Is it like an action game? To me, that sounds like it'd be something like God of War, Devil May Cry-ish.
Don't worry. I'll keep you safe. I'll keep you safe.
Yeah, I actually preferred the first Jak as well, Max. I played the 2 sequels and enjoyed them, but they weren't as great. Spoiler, Raiden, no spoilers. We don't want that. Are you talking about Resident Evil or are you talking about this game?
This isn't funny.
This is not nearly as cheery as the previous ones.
Richard! There you are. Oh, hey.
So we're, oh, that's that big, what do you call it? I can't think of that. Gazebo or something? We were here before, but this looks way more dilapidated.
By the maze. I was afraid something happened to you. I'm fine. I felt like being alone.
And Max, I do have the remaster, so maybe I'll fire that up sometime like we did with Crash 1.
Are you sure?
Oh, it's like a Dark Souls game.
I said I'm fine. Hey. If something happened, you can tell me.
Does it look really nice, Asifa? Yeah, DM in it would be safer, just so we don't spoil it for anybody.
Just let me.
Okay, Richard. I get the picture. Doesn't change a goddamn thing.
I mean, you still hurt our child. So I can't imagine any explanation's gonna smooth that over at all. Your mom is driving through California today? She's driving cross country. She hasn't had cell reception in days. And I'm like, why would you drive to a play with no reception? There's certain areas for sure you don't get any reception at all, but they're usually few and far between.
What's going on?
Shh, listen to me, Richard. Listen to my every word. Some men will come to our house tonight.
Oh, this is weird looking. Look at this hallway. It's like going up and down.
Shh, it's okay. I told them to come.
There goes that creepy door again.
The hell is this? No! Stay away from me! Stay back!
The no Wi-Fi thing kind of surprises me.
You bastards! No! No! Let go of me! No, please don't!
Potentially. Oh, the door just opened for us. That's eerie. It looks like we're in the attic or something. I like the music here. This is creepy.
Any son of Poland who collaborates with the oppressor.
Collaborator. Interesting. Is that from his like military stuff? I'm not sure. Ooh, I don't know if we have power to blast this. I don't think we do. I think I missed something. We need to charge up first.
Who steals from, denounces, or otherwise acts against his compatriots.
Is this some like Holocaust stuff? Is that is that the Star of David? Or spoils of war stuff they've stolen? Yeah. I did not see the story going this way. Okay, I still haven't found some place to charge up yet. Oh, I can't go backwards. It has to be in here. What am I missing? Oh, here's something. Sometimes you have to look at things in a certain order or it won't highlight.
Commits an unforgivable crime against the motherland.
First house on the left, right next to the river, with the old cherry tree in front. They're hiding them in the pantry, under the floorboards. It is like Nazi stuff. They let them out sometimes to stretch out, usually later in the day. Some of them even go out sometimes, probably looking for food. Best to come at night. So they were telling, basically, ratting them out.
Swiftly punish.
Holy cow. Well, here's where we're going to get that ability.
A nicer guy.
There we go. What were some of the big differences, Phantasma, between the UK and the US? Or you just mean the size of it? The US is pretty large. Hey, welcome back, Raiden. That's pretty cool, Max. Yeah, I haven't ridden a bike in so long.
This is getting tedious.
But where I'm centrally located, I can actually walk to some places, like shopping. I always have to walk backwards whenever I'm in one of these kind of scenes, just to make sure they don't have any little secrets hidden.
Rose! Where are you? I'm sorry!
California is like that too, especially if you're going north to south. It's really large. Oh, I didn't kill it. I'll try it again. There we go. Sometimes I go a little too early. Like there. How did I miss that one? It's weird, Raiden. What was your mom expecting? And Sparky, how's it going, Sparky? Welcome to the stream, dude.
Please, I need you.
I love that name, Sparky. It always reminds me of what's that movie? National Lampoon's Vacation. I think the wife calls the dad Sparky. Gosh, I never even saw where that thing came from. They're like really well hidden in the shadows sometimes. There we go. Now we're making good progress. We've seen rose petals all throughout these areas. Ooh. That's creepy. It's all dying. I haven't played Returnal. It looks pretty cool though, Hasifa. I've heard it's really hard. So that's probably not one I want to stream. It'd be a lot of deaths, not a lot of progress, probably take me way too long. Am I supposed to go back? I think that was a dead end.
They took her from me.
For those of you into flowers and stuff, what are some of your favorite flowers? Andy likes, I think it's lilacs and sunflowers are some of her favorites.
You took her from me.
Okay, now I'm definitely getting a little lost. No idea. No idea what that's supposed to be. It's a thing. It exists. Is it more roguelike? Which roguelike games are meant to be hard, but slowly open up as you learn what you're doing. I've only really streamed one roguelike on the channel, and that was... what's it called? Dead Cells. That was a fun game. Oh, it looks like all the bread stuff is gone. We do use that term. Long ass. Big ass. We just add ass to everything. I don't know if I've seen like white roses. Are they... Is it natural or do they have to dye it that way? Okay, there doesn't seem to be anything else there. Let's keep going.
No. I am nothing.
Oh, there's another Star of David. Oh, okay, now it's making more sense. All right, so the kid is feeding probably like a young Jewish girl that's trying to hide from the Nazis. Maybe that's what's happening? I was trying to get like, why are you having to feed this kid? Oh, I hit the wrong button. In the middle of nowhere. I hit the left bumper again. I am way too slow at this. Come on, John. I wasn't having any problems before. Do you use that terminology too, Aether? Whoa. There's your... That's not Cthulhu, but what the hell is that? It kind of looks like Goro from Mortal Kombat, that giant thing with the multiple arms. Now we can actually see the whole creature.
This is it.
What the hell is that? A Reaper Leviathan.
No. You're not.
Oh, it destroyed the gazebo too.
Rose? Is that you?
Holy crap.
My precious little flower. My lily.
Oh, now the flowers are just disappearing. Yeah, I think we need some kind of laser. Oh, crap. Oh, I thought it just killed me. I was like too busy looking at the flowers.
Quality time.
Perfect timing on that. Oh man, we're getting close to when I need to wrap things up, but I really want to see this next scene. Because I feel like we're just about at the end of this chapter. That guy is huge!
Let's get this over with.
We're just running right at him. Bring it on! What are you gonna do to him? What are you gonna do to him, Thomas? That just looks awesome, though. I love it. I don't know if this game has boss fights. We've only ever been, like, sneaky. Can I not absorb this? I guess not. Oh, maybe I have to try to destroy this with my power. There we go. Oh, he has that same arm that we do.
Help! Somebody! Please, help!
Over here, kid.
Please, mister, I need help. The monster, it's after me.
Monster, you say? And what does this monster look like?
I love his
Sir,
voice.
There's no time. Hurry, we have to get out of here.
It's okay, Richard. Why don't you take a moment to catch your breath?
Do I know you, mister? Are you one of my stepfather's friends?
No, kid. I'm not planning on making any friends here. I'm here just for you.
That is creepy.
Closer! Don't touch me!
I'm sorry, kid. I know you tried to run, to hide.
Get your hands off me!
But as long as you're here, the beast will always find you.
Oh my gosh.
Richard.
It's like you sent a Terminator back in time to stop John Connor when he's a kid before he grows up.
It was pretty overwhelming at first. Thomas being like me, but different somehow. I guess I don't have to tell you.
That was some cool backstory of Thomas or Richard. But have we actually found Thomas, or why did we experience that? The wheelchair gave it this to us.
Who the hell are you?
Oh crap.
Hunted, hounded, his whole life hiding, hoping they wouldn't find him. I gave him shelter. I gave him purpose. He could have been so much more. Instead, he chose to rot in this godforsaken place. I got you sent, girl.
You're him. Richard.
Yep.
I'm what's left of him. The bleeding wound. The sand drying on the stump. All because of her.
And now the stream gets banned.
I know you, Jill. You smell just like her.
Oh no, not
Like
that
the
again.
girl who suffered because of you? The one you preyed upon?
She came to me because she had nowhere else to go. Where was her father then? Where were you?
Oh, shut up! Stop acting like you ever cared about her.
She was the light of my life, the warmth of my soul.
Your soul has rotted away. There's barely anything left. Now, It's just your sins. I almost feel sorry for you. You're nothing.
You ripped me apart. You burned me down and left me in the dark. He's a fiend, a monster.
This man, Thomas. What is he?
That's what I want to find out.
Butchers the soul, the one who breaks it. But you,
I thought he was trying to stop you.
I know you can set me free. I can feel it. Please do it.
You don't deserve it.
Samoan.
You deserve nothing. Nothing. Do you hear me?
Then give it to me, please. To not exist. That's all I want.
So be it.
This guy's just literally kill me.
Do you think she'll ever forgive me? Will you?
I'm not your judge. I'm just the ferryman. Be gone. Richard.
We can get rid of these things too? Red House. I'm not sure what that is.
The Red House.
She was confused by that too. Red House?
This time, it wasn't just a feeling. It was a memory. Had I been here before? Was I a part of the puzzle? This man, Thomas, was he a part of my own past?
See, now she's like talking to us. Like we're interviewing her or something. I think that's like in the now times, and everything else is like backstory. Because that's how the game started out. She was sort of explaining things.
Something clicked.
Aether, that's great. It was a meme.
That girl. It's me.
Were we at
It
this
looks
resort
like
too?
It was taken here, at Neva.
How would you not remember that?
Shit.
True, Simone. We definitely played a few games that had a little bit of nudity, but it was just like brief flashes. It wasn't like
House.
gratuitous or the focus of the game for
Whatever
sure.
it is, I can feel it out there. Like it's calling out to me. There. In the woods.
This game has a complicated story. Make your way through the forest.
What a twist!
Perfect. M. Night Shyamalan. So, what I kind of got from some of that, and this is just surface level off the top of my head sort of thing. So, and some of these things, I can't put all the pieces together quite yet. Maybe I missed something. But Richard, as a kid, was helping this girl that was like hiding from the Nazis. And he was being abused himself by his stepfather. And then did some bad stuff to this young girl. Something happened with their relationship. I'm not sure what happened to her exactly. But then as an adult, Richard, having this kind of like evil temptation or something in him, he met another girl, which was Thomas's daughter, because Thomas had brought Richard into his house. And he started having these same feelings about this young girl he had known way back when as a kid. Like he kept saying like, oh, you remind me of someone. Then throughout things happening, he started doing bad things to this little girl. I think that he killed her or something, but now Thomas was like breaking into Richard's mind to find out what is in you. What is this evil that caused you to do these things? That's what that whole chapter was him kind of delving into the psyche of Richard and finding out his past and what happened. And at the very end there, it seemed like I thought he was just straight up kill that monster, but the monster's still here and it's talking to us now as Marianne. But what's even stranger is that now the monster's asking us to help. So I don't know. It's really crazy. That we don't really know about our past, Phantasma, which they haven't really gone into that too much in the very beginning of the game. I don't remember the details, but there was a little bit about our past. I don't know if we were adopted or something, maybe. But there was that picture that we just saw. So we did grow up here. I'm curious what our connection is to all this. I'm sure we're going to find out as it goes, right, Samoan? But I'm curious. It's really interesting. Very deep, though. There's definitely a lot of moving parts, and we'll have to work together, hashing things out to kind of figure it all out together. It's crazy. Yeah, Marianne is adopted, Jack or whatever. That's what I thought. So now that gives you that nice mystery of, okay, what was your life before the adoption? How much of that was bad? How much of that did you repress? Who knows? But we'll find out. Crazy. Richard murked the child. That's what it seemed like. But they didn't go into too many details. They give you a lot of just kind of vague hints as to what happened. So some of it we might just have to put together ourselves. Some of it might be clearly explained. I'm not sure. But sometimes that little bit of questioning or doubt or, just makes you think about it. And maybe you, rather than just spelling it out for you, you get to kind of come to your own conclusions, which is fun too. I know, Sparky, I'm still trying to figure it out too. Alrighty, guys, we have to get going. Let me quit this real quick. Thank you